Chapter 35-38. Well, it's very expensive. I think Wang Ho-Hat's neighbor has one. Her husband bought it for her after he worked. Oh, Huomi nodded and started thinking. She was thinking about how to borrow a phone without arousing suspicion. Girl, where are you from? City. Wow, it's a big city. It's okay. Huomin smiled and held the bowl of noodles in her hand. The hot aroma wafted into her nose. Although there wasn't a piece of meat or a lot of oil, it smelled better than the food made in restaurants. Perhaps Huomian was hungry from all that torture. She ate and chatted with the grandma. Girl, you're not familiar with this place. Why are you here looking for relatives? Tomorrow morning, you should leave by car. Don't stay here. What's wrong, Grandma? Is there a problem here? Sigh, it's a sin. I don't even know how to tell you. The grandma sat on the doorstep and sighed. I won't tell anyone, Huomin emphasized. We used to be quite peaceful here. Later on, human trafficking suddenly sprung up. Do you know that it's illegal? But those crazy people would do anything for money. Children, women, anything that can be sold. We did become rich in the past few years, but it's not because of proper business. Those people will get their retribution sooner or later. Girl, you're an outsider and you're pregnant. If you get targeted by those bad guys, you'll be finished. Grandma, don't the police care about what those bad people do? Huomin asked tentatively. Police? Those people took the money and turned a blind eye to it. Fortunately, they weren't locals. They just kept bringing people back from outside. This place is finished. Ever since my old man died, my eldest daughter and her family of 3 moved away. Not long after, my youngest son went out to work. If it weren't for me being reluctant to leave this place, I would have left long ago. This place needs to be cleaned up. Those human traffickers are despicable. Huomin finished the grandma's noodles with a heavy heart. Seeing that the old grandma's legs seemed to be inconvenient, he even took the initiative to take her pulse. Little girl, you know how to treat illnesses? Yes, I'm a doctor. Wow, you're already a doctor at such a young age. It was obvious that the old granny worshipped doctors. I'm not young anymore, Grandma. I'm almost 30 years old. After taking her pulse, Huomin stood up. Grandma, your body is a little weak. Do you cough often? Yes. My lungs aren't good. Every year before winter, I would cough for a long time. It's an old problem. The old granny nodded. Well, it's not a big problem. Don't catch a cold. When I get home, I'll send someone to bring you some Chinese medicine. Drink it well. No, those medicines are too expensive. The old granny waved her hand. It's okay. You don't have to spend money. I'll give it to you. At this moment, the old lady was about to speak. Then he heard a commotion outside. Huomin saw a group of people walking in from afar. You guys search house by house. Even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground, you can't let him run away. That's our god of fortune. As soon as he heard the voice, he knew that it was a human trafficker. Huomin's face immediately changed. Grandma, I have to hide. They're all bad people. Quick, hide in the water tank behind me. I don't know how to swim. It's okay. There's no water inside. The old granny quickly led Huomin to the dark back room. There was a dilapidated water tank with some dried cabbage in it. A strong smell of rotten cabbage wafted out. Huomin made up his mind. He stepped on a stool and jumped into the tank. Then, the old granny covered the tank with a red cloth. After everything was done, the group of people rushed in. What's the matter? The old granny looked at these people. Damn old woman, do you see a pregnant woman? The leader of the human trafficker looked fierce. Chapter 35-39. What big belly? I don't see it. The old lady's attitude was very unfriendly. Stop wasting time. Let's search. The trafficker then led the way in. The old lady's house was small and run down, so he walked around twice and was about to leave when he didn't see anyone. However, just as he was about to leave, he noticed that there seemed to be a dark back room. What's that place? A barn, the old lady said. Blackie, go in and search. The leader of the trafficker obviously didn't dare to enter, so he asked his men to go in and search. The young man mustered up his courage and walked in with the old lady following behind him. The barn was very small. Other than some broken farm tools, there was only a dilapidated water tank. What's this? Blackie was curious and reached out to open the water tank. Huamin covered his mouth and held his breath. He was so nervous that his heart was about to stop. Just as his hand was about to touch the water tank, the old lady picked up a feather duster and hit his hand hard. "Old lady, what are you doing? You can't touch it. Didn't you see the red cloth? This is where Huang Daxian put his food. I picked up all the dead chickens and ducks. If you want to open it, I won't stop you. But don't say I didn't warn you. If Huang Daxian gets angry, don't blame me for your bad luck." Blackie was scared when he heard the old lady's words. In the north, there was a legend about the two immortals, who was a fox and Huang was a weasel. The older generation believed in this, especially in the countryside. So when the man heard this, he felt very strange. Even if he had 10 times the courage, he wouldn't dare to open it. If Huang Daxian got revenge, he would be done for. So Blackie hurried out of the barn. "How was it? Did you find anything?" The trafficker asked. "No, nothing. Let's go to the next one." Then the group of people left one after another. Huamin could finally jump out of the water tank. "Girl, are you okay?" "Grandma, I'm fine." "Oh, they want to catch you." "Grandma, I'll tell you the truth. I was caught by that human trafficker and was about to be sold, but I ran away on my own." Huamin didn't want to continue lying to the old granny. He felt that she was a good person and even helped him just now. Oh, what a sin. Even pregnant women and children are not spared. "Girl, you should leave tomorrow morning." "Grandma, it will be too late tomorrow morning. I have to leave in a while." What Huamin was afraid now was that when the person who bought her at a high price arrived, it would be difficult to leave. "It's getting dark now. Where are you going?" "It's not safe. There are people outside. If you go out, you'll be caught." Although the old granny was old, she didn't look foolish. "Grandma, didn't you just say that a neighbor has a cell phone? I want to borrow it from her house. I want to call my family. My family will come and pick me up." "All right, let's go. I'll bring you to Ho-Hat's house." Huamin and the old lady waited until the human traffickers had turned the entire village upside down and left. Ho-Hat's house wasn't far from the old lady's house. After walking for less than 50 meters, they arrived. It was also a house that didn't look very good, but there seemed to be a lot of people inside. A white SUV was parked at the door. "There seems to be a guest in his house," Huamin murmured. Since there were so many people, they couldn't go in. It would be bad if their whereabouts were exposed. Huamin was about to leave with the old lady when the door of Ho-Hat's house was pushed open. A young woman walked out with a roasted potato in her hand and was eating it with relish. "Zhang Ro?" Huamin was shocked. Yes, the woman who walked out was none other than Zhang Ro. Chapter 3540. Hearing Huamin's words, Zhang Ro saw her. She was so scared that she threw the potatoes away. Huamian?" Zhang Ro was also in disbelief. "Zhang Ro, is it really you?" Excited to see an acquaintance here, Huamin immediately rushed over. "Yeah, why are you here?" Zhang Ro looked at Huamian from head to toe and found that she seemed to be alone. It's a long story. I'll tell you later." Huamin didn't tell her how she got here. After all, she wasn't sure if she was safe. "I went hiking with some friends and then went to the harvest garden. When we came back, it was already dark. We thought we'd stay at Annie Ho-Hat's for the night." "You know the owner of this house?" "Yeah, Annie Ho-Hat used to be my friend's housekeeper. Our families have always been close. She wanted to see Annie Ho-Hat, and we wanted to eat farmhouse food, so we came and stayed for one night." Hearing her explanation, Huamin looked at the off-road vehicle in front of the door with suspicion. It was too much of a coincidence that Zhang Ro showed up. Why was she here? Was she related to those people who paid a lot of money? "Huamin, what's wrong?" "Oh, nothing." "Zhang Ro, can you lend me your phone?" "Sure." Without a word, Zhang Ro took out her phone and handed it to Huamin. She took the phone and called Qin Shu with Zhang Ro's phone. The call went through after 3 rings. Huamin walked to a remote corner. "Hello." Qin Shu's deep and pleasant voice came from the other side of the phone. "Honey, it's me. Mian? Where are you? Are you hurt? Are you okay?" Qin Shu was worried sick. "I'm fine. Don't worry. Listen to me. I'm in a village near Kaoshan Town. I think it's called Red Cloud Village. I'll reach Kaoshan Town in 30 minutes. Wait for me to pick you up." No. You must not come. You must not enter Leaning Mountain Town. Why? I don't have time to explain it to you. Honey, how about this? Stop the car now and send me a location based on this number. I'll go find you now. No, I'm worried. I'll go pick you up. Shu insisted on picking him up personally. Honey, I'm really fine. I'm with Zheng Ro. Zheng Ro. Shu also seemed surprised. I'll explain this to you later. Hurry up and send me your location. We'll meet up with you now, and then we have to leave this place immediately. All right then. Shu believed that Huamin had a plan. So, at her request, he parked the car in a nearby parking lot and sent her a location on his cell phone. Receiving Shu's location, Huamin said to Zheng Ro in a low voice, "Can you lend me your car? I'll drive to meet up with my husband. When we get back, I'll have someone send the car back to you. Of course, you can come with me." What's wrong? Why are you in such a hurry? It's getting dark. Zheng Ro was puzzled. Huamin studied her eyes and found that she really didn't know that those people were coming. Someone wants to catch me. I must leave this place. Huamin lowered her voice. What? Catch you? Zheng Ro was even more surprised. It's too late. Let's go now. Huamin pointed at Zheng Ro's car and said. Huamin had called Shu with Zheng Ro's cell phone. If Zheng Ro was really in trouble, Shu wouldn't let her go. So, Huamin decided to take the risk and use Zheng Ro's car to leave this damn place. Okay, let's go now. I'll go and call my friends out. Then, Zheng Ro went into the house and called out the two girls who came out with her. I'll drive. I can drive fast, Huamin offered. Chapter 35:41. Don't. You're pregnant and don't get hurt. I'm not driving slowly. If you trust me, you can sit in the passenger seat and talk to me. I'll drive. By the way, do you have money in your bag? Yes. Lend me some. Take it yourself. Zheng Ro handed him a Chanel bag. Huamin opened it and took out 5,000 yuan in cash. Then he walked up to the old lady. Grandma, I found my friends. I'm leaving now. Thank you for helping me. It's okay, girl. I'm glad you can go back safely. Grandma, take this money. You don't have an easy life. Buy whatever you want to eat. Oh no, it's too much money. I don't want so much. Just give me 100 yuan. I can spend it for a long time. The old lady obviously didn't dare to take so much money and only kept 100 yuan. Take it, Grandma. I'll have someone send you medicine later. Remember, don't mention me. Those bad guys will hurt you. Okay. The old lady nodded. Finally, under Huamin's insistence, she took the 3,000 yuan. Huamin and Zheng Ro's two female friends got into a white Toyota off-road vehicle and went on the road. They thought they'd get out smoothly, but to their surprise, the police stopped them at the entrance of the highway and questioned them. Are there police up ahead? Zheng Ro glanced at Huamin and said, I saw them. What should we do? Should we get out of the car and cooperate with the investigation? No. Huamin had heard some clues from the conversation with the old lady. This place was high up in the mountains and far away from the government. The police and the local gangsters were all in cahoots. Maybe she was the person the police wanted to arrest. If they got out of the car, they'd die. Then what should we do? Drive past them? Huamin said. What? Zheng Ro was even more shocked. Why don't you pull over and let me drive? Huamin had raced with Song Yishi's sister before. She was smart, had fast reflexes, and had a strong sense of control. Therefore, she was quite confident when it came to racing. Wasn't it just breaking through the police's blockade? The police were humans too, and they didn't want to die. If they rushed over, they might still have a chance. If he got out of the car, he would be done for. The four women really didn't have the strength to trust a chicken. He was just waiting to be caught. Every time this happened, Huamin would wish that Xiaoyan was here. Xiaoyan alone was enough to take care of everyone. No, I can't let a pregnant woman risk her life. I'll try. Sit tight. Then, Zheng Ro gritted her teeth and stepped on the gas pedal. The car rammed into the policeman. Pull over and cooperate with the inspection. The police were yelling at their cars with megaphones. But Zheng Ro couldn't listen to anything Huamin said. He made up his mind and rushed over, breaking through all the fences set up by the police. The off-road vehicle was indeed powerful. It completely crushed the private car. The police didn't expect the car to be so crazy. By the time they reacted, the car was already gone. What are you guys waiting for? Hurry up and chase after them. Should we still chase after them? It's not safe here. It's a winding mountain road, and it's dark. The young policeman didn't want to chase after them. Hurry up and chase after them. Fourth master said if the people they want run away, we'll all be in trouble. The leader of the policemen scolded. Then, 4 or 5 policemen in 2 police cars started to chase after them. They'll catch up with us soon. Huamin, what should we do now? Zheng Ro's hands trembled on the steering wheel. She had no idea what to do. Huamin calmly glanced at the rearview mirror and saw the policemen were getting closer and closer to them. Chapter 35:42. Huamin lowered his head and didn't say anything. He picked up Zheng Ro's cell phone and quickly opened the map. He zoomed in on the map and looked at the route ahead. Although the mountain road here is rugged, it is quite regular. After every 3 small bends, there must be a big one. Let me check the distance between them. The small bends are about 120 meters apart, and the big bends are about 300 meters apart. Wow, my Dr. Hua is awesome. For the first time, Zheng Ro looked at Huamin with admiration. She hadn't known this woman, but had heard that she was smart. This time, Zheng Ro had to look at her in a new light. Drive. I'll remind you. You might as well turn on the GPS, Zheng Ro suggested. No, it's too slow. We won't make it. Just drive. Don't be afraid. Zheng Ro and Huamin had a magical conversation. The 2 girls behind Zheng Ro were so scared that they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. How was this a drive for a hike? This was clearly fast and furious. Driving so fast on a mountain road was suicidal. It's too dangerous for us to drive so fast, a girl in the back seat said in a low voice. If they catch up with us, we'll be in big trouble. We don't care about the speed limit. Huamin's words scared the 2 girls into silence, but they knew the pregnant woman was Zheng Ro's friend. Otherwise, Zheng Ro wouldn't have listened to her so obediently. Idiot. Drive faster. Catch up with them. In the police car, the leading officer was very anxious. He watched as the car in front of him got farther and farther away. No, boss. If we drive faster, we'll be in danger. It's dark and the road is difficult to drive. We're risking our lives? Haha. They're getting away from us. Following Huamin's reminder, they ran for a while and found the police were far behind them. We can't let down our guard. They're still chasing us, Huamin said calmly. Huamin, help me turn the steering wheel. Then, Zheng Ro let go of the steering wheel and made a call. Uncle Zhao, it's Zheng Ro. I'm in danger. Please find a way to send someone to pick me up. My current location is on the road more than 20 miles away from Kaoshan Town. The next stop is Luyang River Town. I hope I can see someone there. Then Zheng Ro hung up. Seeing Huamin's puzzled look, Zheng Ro explained with a smile. She's my father's secretary. Don't worry. Yes. When their car arrived at Luyang River Town, Huamin saw Qin Shu's car from afar. After the car stopped, she quickly rushed over. She threw herself into Qin Shu's arms. Oh, President Qin is here. Zheng Ro smiled. Thank you. Qin Shu glanced at Zheng Ro and thanked her. You're welcome. I'm happy to be able to help Huamin. Zheng Ro, we can't stay here. Let's go. You go first. Those people seem to be after you. You go first. I'll stay here to buy time. No, it's too dangerous. Huamin shook her head. It's okay. My father's secretary has arranged for someone to come and help us. With my identity, those damn cops won't do anything to me. Zheng Ro wanted to be a hero. Huamin knew those people were after her. Uneasy, she got into Qin Shu's sports car with him, and the couple left. Ro, who's that pregnant woman? Her husband is so handsome. Her female companion was smitten. She's a legend. Don't ask too many questions. After getting into Qin Shu's car, Huamin felt relieved. What did you meet Zheng Ro? Why did she appear here at this time? Qin Shu asked calmly. Honey, do you suspect her? Huamin heard the distrust in Mr. Qin's voice. Chapter 35:43. Shouldn't she be suspected? The timing of her appearance is too coincidental. I had my suspicions, but no matter what, I'm safe now. We'll talk about the rest when we get back. Huamin got into Qin Shu's car safely. Zheng Ro's 2 girlfriends stopped the car on the side of the road. When the police caught up with them, they surrounded them. What are you doing? Zheng Ro yelled on purpose. Where's the pregnant woman? What pregnant woman? Zhang Ro pretended not to know. The other two girls didn't dare to speak either. Don't play dumb. Tell us where the pregnant woman is. The leading police officer's tone was harsh. His attitude toward Zhang Ro was harsh. He pointed at her nose and yelled, "Mind your words. Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. If you don't tell us where the pregnant woman is, you'll suffer," the police officer said fiercely. "Do you think I'm a coward? You're just policemen from a small town. Believe it or not, I'll fire all of you tomorrow. You'll all be fired. Ho ho. How arrogant. Girl, do you think you're so great just because your family is rich?" The police officers thought they were rich girls and didn't think much of their million-yuan luxury cars. "I'll tell you, the pregnant woman in your car is the person we're looking for. Tell us now. Don't waste our time. There's no pregnant woman. If you keep acting like this, I'll call the police and warn you that the police are harassing civilians." "Huh? Call the police? Okay, call the police." Zhang Ro picked up her cell phone and was about to make the call. But the leading police officer snatched her cell phone and threw it to the ground. "Damn it. How dare you throw my cell phone? Do you know how much it costs? Idiot." Zhang Ro was so agitated that she cursed and rushed up to fight with the policeman. Of course, as a girl, she was no match for a police officer and was pinned to the ground in a few moves. "Ooh, let go of her. If you hurt her, you'll die. Her father won't let you go." Zhang Ro's best friend panicked, and the two girls rushed up. But before they could touch the police officer's uniform, they were pinned down by the other police officers. These women really don't know what's good for them. Take them all back and interrogate them properly. The policeman whose face was scratched by Zhang Ro was also angry. He wanted to bring these women back and give them a good beating. Just as they were about to get into the police car, suddenly 7 or 8 military vehicles came from all directions. A group of soldiers got out of the car. "Who's Zhang Ro?" The leading officer was fully armed and had a heavy machine gun in his hand. "I'm Zhang Ro." Zhang Ro slowly raised her hand. "Miss Zhang, I'm sorry we're late," the man said politely to Zhang Ro. The other policemen were immediately dumbfounded. "It's not too late, not too late. Hurry up and help me teach these bastards a lesson. They're really bastards, smashing my phone and hitting me." Zhang Ro touched the bruise on her neck, feeling angry. "Hurry up and release him." "Who are you?" Although the leading policeman felt a little guilty, he was still unwilling to let them go. "Liang Lixing, First Lieutenant of the 35th Regiment, Field Army Unit 87031, Southwest Military Region." The soldier announced his name loudly. "Oh, First Lieutenant Liang. Ha, you're good. You're stationed in this mountainous area, right?" Because there were troops stationed nearby, the police had heard about them. "Cut the crap. Let them go." "But they're suspects. I'll take them back for questioning." "When did your army interfere with our local affairs?" The policeman was still arrogant. "Suspects? How is that possible? Do you know who she is?" First Lieutenant Liang sneered at the leading policeman and pointed at Zhang Ro. Chapter 3544. Who she is has nothing to do with me. We're just enforcing the law. The policeman raised his chin as if he was in the right. "Hee hee. Really? Then you'd better explain it to the Deputy Secretary of the provincial capital." "What does it have to do with the Deputy Secretary of the provincial capital?" The policeman rolled his eyes. "The one you're holding is Zhang Ro, the only daughter of the Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Zhang Guoquan." "What?" His words made that policeman, no, all the policemen present, dumbfounded. Seeing his dumbfounded expression, the officer continued. "Half an hour ago, we received a secret order from Secretary Zhang's secretary to the chief of our force, saying that Secretary Zhang's daughter was in trouble and we were to rescue her." How is that possible?" The policeman murmured to himself and released Zhang Ro immediately. "I'm telling you, when I get back, I won't ask my dad to let you go. You're a bunch of idiots." Zhang Ro was furious. It's impossible. We were supposed to arrest a pregnant woman. How come we ended up like this?" The leading policeman was innocent. He knew he had been ordered to arrest a pregnant woman who happened to be in the car. When he caught up with the pregnant woman, he found she had run away. These women wouldn't tell him where she went. Therefore, he wanted to teach them a lesson. He even fought with this woman for a while. Now, they told him she was the daughter of the deputy secretary of the provincial capital. Were they trying to kill him? Miss Sung, we'll escort you back. Okay, find someone who knows how to drive. This road is too dangerous and I don't dare to drive. Zung Ro tilted her head and glared at the policeman. Okay, Miss Zung, it's a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding. We didn't want to arrest you, seeing that she was the daughter of a rich family. The policeman immediately admitted defeat. He almost knelt down before her. Misunderstanding? Fuck off. Wait for your death. How dare you call yourselves the people's police? Do you think you're qualified to work for your boss? Zung Ro pointed at their noses and scolded them. Then she left under the escort of the army. Although the policemen were safe for now, they knew they couldn't be policemen anymore. So they went back dejectedly. Captain, what should we do now? The few police officers were also frightened. What else can we do? Let's go back and ask Zhu Darong for some money first. If we didn't help him capture a pregnant woman as a hostage, would things have turned out like this? The police captain put all the blame on the human trafficker. Therefore, they planned to go back and extort a sum of money. When the time came, even if they were fired, at least they would still get money. Unexpectedly, when they entered the courtyard, they were immediately dumbfounded. Zhu Darong, his wife, Erden, and a few of 4th Master Fong's subordinates were all tied up and kneeling in the courtyard. After they entered, the door was immediately closed. In the corner stood 4 men in black with devil masks on. They were all holding submachine guns. That's right, submachine guns, not Type 54 pistols. Standing in the middle was a person wearing a white ghost mask. Judging from his height, he should be a man. You? Who are you? The police captain trembled in fear. Tie them up as well. Don't come any closer. I'm telling you, we have guns too. The policeman backed away. Before the last one could reach the door, he was shot in the head by the white masked man in the middle. His brain instantly exploded and splattered all over the floor. The scene was extremely cruel. Seeing this, the human trafficker's wife vomited. Chapter 35-45. Now, the rest of the policemen were well-behaved and obediently allowed themselves to be captured. I have a question. If you don't answer satisfactorily, I'll shoot one of you. With that, the man in the white mask walked up to Erdan. Where's the pregnant woman we want? His voice was deep and powerful, and he spoke in standard Chinese. No, I really don't know. As soon as he finished speaking, Erdan was shot between his eyebrows and fell to the ground dead. Zhu Darong was so scared that he almost peed his pants. I told you they weren't good people. You just had to be greedy for 2 million. You bastard, you've killed us. The human trafficker's wife broke down and cried. So, the masked man walked up to the human trafficker's wife. Sir, we really don't know. We caught her, but she really ran away. Where did she go? We don't know. We're looking for her. We want to earn 2 million too. We're in a hurry. The woman cried as she explained. You're dishonest, aren't you? Bring the child here. The masked man ordered, and his men brought their daughter to the middle. The child was scared out of her wits. She couldn't cry, laugh, or speak. Man, it has nothing to do with my daughter. Don't touch her. Please, I'll kowtow to you. The woman kowtowed to the masked man. But it didn't seem to work at all. If your wife doesn't say anything, what about you? The masked man asked Zhu Darong. Hero, I really don't know. I've brought people to look for her, but there's no news. At this moment, the police captain and the other policemen knew. But at this moment, it was obvious. Anyone who got involved with them will be targeted by them. If they couldn't tell them where the pregnant woman went, they might be shot to death. So, the police captain and his men were selfish and didn't want to say that the pregnant woman was taken out. I really didn't find her. If I found her, would I not give it to you? Zhu Darong was so anxious that he cried. He really regretted not listening to his wife. If he had run away with the pregnant woman at that time, there wouldn't be so much trouble. You're not a man of your word. Didn't you agree that we'll hand over the goods with the money? We brought the money, and now you're telling me that she's missing. I'm really unhappy. After saying that, the man took out a pistol and pointed it at the little girl's head. No, I beg you, don't kill my daughter. She's innocent. The woman crawled on the ground, crying her heart out. With a gunshot, the little girl's head exploded. The blood splashed all over the woman's face. Then, like a madwoman, she opened her mouth and bit the masked man's trousers. The masked man calmly lowered his head and slowly opened fire. The bullet instantly pierced through the woman's head. In 20 seconds, 2 lives had been taken. My child's mother, Zhu Darong roared. Then, he couldn't even cry anymore. In the past, he had often heard people curse that human trafficking would be punished sooner or later. At that time, Zhu Darong didn't care. He only had money in his eyes. He wasn't afraid of betraying his conscience. But now, seeing his wife and child in front of him with his own eyes, he really believed that karma existed in this world. I'll fucking kill you. Zhu Darong tried to struggle and get up. This time, the masked man didn't use a pistol. Instead, he used a knife and pierced his collarbone. The pain made him sweat profusely. I'll give you 1 minute. If no one can tell me where the pregnant woman is, then in 1 minute, I'll blow this place to pieces. All of you will die. Hearing the masked man's words, the police captain immediately cowered. Don't kill me. I know where the pregnant woman is. He didn't want to die. He wanted to live, so he was willing to give the only escape route he knew of. Chapter 35:46. Oh, you know? Yes. As a police officer, I saw a suspicious car when I cordoned off the town, but it was too late when I chased after it. She was in that white Toyota off-road vehicle. What's the license plate number? It's a license plate from the provincial capital, S1688. What else do you know? There's a woman named Zheng Ro in the car. She said she's Secretary Zheng's daughter. Which Secretary Zheng? The masked man continued to interrogate. Deputy Secretary Zheng Guoquan of the Provincial Party Committee. Interesting. You can prove that Miss Zheng knows the pregnant woman? I think so. Otherwise, she wouldn't have risked her life to bring her out. She wouldn't tell me anything no matter how I asked. Good. Thank you for telling me this. You're welcome. The police captain was delighted that he had a chance to live. In the next second, a gunshot rang out and he fell to the ground. Blood slowly flowed onto the ground. Kill all these useless people, the masked man ordered. Sir, killing so many people in China will arouse the attention and dissatisfaction of the government. So what if they're dissatisfied? It's all because they're useless. They can't even catch a pregnant woman who can't even trust a chicken. They even let her escape. We came all the way here for nothing. If it weren't for the fact that I'm afraid that the general will blame me, I really want to kill everyone in this town. The masked man's murderous aura was strong. In his eyes, human lives were as worthless as ants. Don't kill me. Don't kill us. In the end, none of the remaining people managed to escape. Fortunately, the hostages locked up by the human traffickers weren't in danger. Perhaps the masked men didn't care at all. It was good that they vented their anger. Sir, should we go after them now? Why should we? Didn't you hear that the daughter of the provincial party secretary was involved? With her identity, she'll be protected by the military. Even if we go, we won't be able to catch her. We'll miss a good opportunity. Let's go. We'll do it again if we have another chance. By the way, Mr. Fong has lost so many people. Will he? Don't give him a chance. Blow up that Mr. Fong as well. Destroy his nest as well. Yes, sir. Just like that, the seemingly peaceful Leaning Mountain town had already experienced a bloody storm in secret. The human traffickers consisted of Zhu Durong's entire family, Erden, 3 of 4th Master Fong's subordinates, and 7 policemen. A total of 14 lives were lost in Zhu Durong's courtyard. At the same time, in the county town below Kaoshan Town, a luxurious villa was smashed into pieces. 4th Master Fong, who was a member of the mafia, and his family all died. This matter alarmed the criminal investigation team in the province. They immediately sent people to investigate, but they found nothing. On the way back to South Hill Manor, Huamin discovered problem. Her husband seemed to be angry. Qin Shu didn't say a word, even though they had been running for more than 2 hours. He just kept driving and didn't even have any expression on his face. This didn't make sense. Hubby, do you want some water? Not thirsty. Then I'll get you a cookie. I'm not hungry. Then I'll sing you a song. Do you want to hear Counting Ducks or 2 Tigers? Huamin, try to act cute. I don't want to hear it. Hubby, are you mad at me? Huamin tilted her head and carefully looked at Qin Shu's face. Deputy Director Hua, you're being too serious. You're noble now and can do whatever you want. You're smart and brave. You fought the human traffickers for 2 days, even though you were pregnant. What do I have to be mad at you? I think you should act in the second Wonder Woman movie in Hollywood. You're much better than Gal Gadot. Chapter 35:47. Who? Hearing Mr. Qin's words, Huamin almost spat out blood. What are you talking about? Huh? Are you dissatisfied with me? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Of course I'm dissatisfied. Vice Director Hua is the head of the family. No one dares to offend you. Honey, don't be like this. Let's talk things out. When Qin Shu was angry, Huamin was scared. She felt guilty. Mr. Qin wouldn't get angry for no reason. Every time he got angry, it was because she was stubborn. The consequences of her actions made Mr. Qin worried. Don't. Vice Director, you should rest. Don't worry about me. Honey, I was wrong. I really shouldn't have ignored your feelings. I thought those human traffickers were easy to deal with. I had silver needles and knew how to untie ropes. I thought those bad guys would get what they deserved, but I didn't expect a bunch of people to come in and buy me at a high price, Huamian reflected. You knew you were the target of many people, but you still did it. I don't know if you ignore my words or Lu Yan's. If I remember correctly, Lu Yan warned you before she left, right? Yeah, she warned me. But you're not a kid anymore. You can understand her words, right? Yeah, I can understand her. Then why did you take the risk to do it? Because you weren't with me. If I didn't beat them at their own game and they took me away, I was afraid the baby would be hurt. Huamin found an excuse. So you decided to go undercover in the human trafficker's base. Then the baby would be safe? Qin Shu questioned. I didn't expect it to be so complicated. There are many things you didn't expect. Honey, don't be angry, okay? I'm back safe now. So you're gonna write now? No, I know I'm wrong. Huh, I always let you clean up after me. It's been like this for so many years. That's why I married you. You're such a good man. You're one of a kind. Okay, flattery doesn't work. Then why does Lil Bean's trick work on you every time? Because she's my daughter. You're not. Then I want to be your daughter, Huamin said shamelessly. Qin Shu, Vice Director Hua, you're shameless. That's right. What's the point of having integrity with your husband? Anyway, don't be angry. Oh, right. I thought of 2 more important things that you must help me with. What is it? Qin Shu was still angry, but his heart softened when he saw that Huamian needed his help. That human trafficker still has some people who were captured. Can you send someone to rescue them? Those people must be very pitiful. They were captured just like me. Okay. And the old lady who took me in. She's not in good health. I'm going to get some Chinese medicine for her. Please send it to her. I promised her. You've made friends with a lot of people. Ha, that's right. Your wife is popular. The most important thing is that I'm pregnant now. I've successfully pretended to be a pregnant woman. As long as people have a conscience, they won't do anything to me. Those human traffickers are really hateful and stubborn. Their children are so young, but they're already doing evil things with their parents. Hubby, you must contact the provincial police to arrest them and lock them up for decades. No, they're all dead. Huh, dead? Huamin didn't know that the human trafficker's entire family had been killed, but Qin Shu had received the news. Chapter 35:48. Yeah, their whole family is dead. Other than them, many people who were with them are also dead. So are the police officers who chased after you. Did those people do all this? The people Huamin mentioned were the ones who wanted to buy her for 2 million yuan. She knew that those people weren't easy to deal with. Unfortunately, the human traffickers were blinded by greed and only cared about money, so they didn't take Huamin's words seriously. Otherwise, today's tragedy wouldn't have happened. I think so. Luckily, we ran away quickly. Those people are so cruel. I wonder if they're Ian's people. Huamin only knew that Ian and Nala were after her. She didn't know about the other forces. I'll get to the bottom of this. Qin Shu was even more vigilant now. It was obvious that some people with bad intentions couldn't catch Lu Yan at all. Therefore, they picked on Huamin. However, Huamin didn't realize how dangerous the situation was. This was no longer a simple case of human trafficking. Of course, the human traffickers were just ordinary human traffickers, but after they caught Lu Yin, they came to find her. Before he could make a move, someone had already come knocking on his door. This meant that the enemy's intelligence was also very good. There were many spies among them. Looking at her husband's sullen face, Huamin didn't dare to say more. She planned to cook more delicious food for Mr. Qin and coax him when they got home. She wanted to comfort his wounded heart. "Honey, you didn't tell anyone about what happened to me, right?" Qin Chu didn't say anything. "Don't let mom and dad know. It's not good to worry when you're old. Don't let the kids know either. You're scared now? Why didn't you do it earlier?" Qin Chu didn't have the heart, but he couldn't help but scold her. They say pregnancy makes a woman stupid for 3 years. Just think of it as my IQ plummeting. Ha! Huamin grinned and began to make fun of himself, hoping that Mr. Qin wouldn't be so angry. Zheng Ro and her 2 female friends were escorted back to the provincial capital by the army. Zheng Ro went to see the mysterious man again. "How did it go this time?" "It went well. Does Huamin have any doubts?" "I'm not sure about that. After all, she's very smart. The timing of my appearance is also very coincidental. However, those people who killed Zhu Darong are not our people. Qin Shu will definitely investigate. When the time comes and he finds someone else, we will naturally be cleared of suspicion." "Not bad. Chief, I don't understand why you didn't continue to work with Su Yu. As for Su Yu, I've received a tip that his mother has arranged for a woman to go over. I'm afraid that if you go over, it will be too chaotic. Not only will we waste time, but we won't be able to get any useful information. This time, you save Amin. No matter how smart she is, she won't ignore your kindness. So what should I do next?" "You need to stay in the hospital." "Stay in the hospital?" Zheng Ro frowned slightly, as if she didn't understand what he meant. "You have no reason to go back to Sea City now. So, you must find a suitable reason. Since Huamin is a doctor, you must go back as a patient." "I understand. Then what illness should I use?" Zheng Ro didn't dare to disobey him. At night, Zheng Ro was pushed down the stairs when she was shopping in the mall and had a slight concussion. The next day, she was transferred from the provincial hospital to Southside. At this time, Huamin didn't know anything about this. She didn't hear it from Chun Jia until the next morning at work. "Sister Mian, you know Zheng Ro, right?" "Yeah. Why?" "She's staying in the hospital." "What?" Huamin froze, obviously surprised. Recently, he had been in frequent contact with Zheng Ro. Huamin felt something was wrong. Chapter 35-49. How come she's hospitalized here? "I don't know. She was just transferred here. I think she's injured. Everyone in the hospital said she's Secretary Zheng's daughter. Even President Wu went to see her in the VIP ward this morning." "Which department is she in?" "Orthopedics. They said she has an old injury on her leg." "Oh, okay. I'll go and see her." After returning, Huamin had planned to call Zheng Ro to ask about what had happened that day and thank her. But as soon as he came to work, he was shocked to hear that she was hospitalized here, inside the luxurious VIP ward at Southside. This time, Zheng Ro didn't hide her identity, so there were bodyguards outside the ward. Different from last time, there were nurses waiting on her in the ward. This time, she looked like a rich young lady. "Stop. Who are you?" The bodyguard didn't know Huamin and stopped her. "This is our vice director Hua." Chun Jie gave the bodyguard a stare. Glancing at Huamin's work ID, the bodyguard let her in. When Huamin walked in, Zheng Ro was playing on her cell phone. The nurse beside her was peeling an apple for her carefully. "Zheng Ro." "Huh? Huamin, you're here. I thought you'd take a few days off. Why are you back so soon?" Seeing Huamin, Zheng Ro was happy. "Yeah, there's a lot going on in the hospital, and I don't have time for vacation." "What happened to you? Why are you in the hospital?" It's not convenient to talk about it." "Forget it. Don't ask." "What's wrong? Did something happen after I left? Did the police hurt you?" Huamin felt guilty for leaving Zheng Ro behind that day. Seeing Huamin's thoughts, Zheng Ro acted better. "Oh, I'm fine. I'm really fine. Then how did you get hurt?" I just fell. I accidentally fell while shopping." "Don't lie to me." Huamin didn't believe Zheng Ro's unnatural expression. "All of you can leave. I want to talk to my friend alone." Zheng Ro raised her head and dismissed everyone in the room. Xinjia also left the room. After you left that day, the police did chase after me. They were very rude to me and even smashed my phone. I was so angry that I scratched his face. Haha. Are you all right? Huamin asked anxiously. It's okay. Later, the military came. My father's secretary called and sent us home safely. What about your injury? Huamin looked at her leg, which was in a cast. After I came back, I thought I was fine, so I went out shopping. I don't know who pushed me from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't high, or I would have died. Unfortunately, this fall also triggered the injuries from the car accident in Singapore. I was hospitalized at the provincial hospital, but they said that in terms of orthopedics, only the Southern District has the best authority in the province. My father wanted me to come here to recuperate first. Why didn't you call me earlier? It's a big deal. Huamin was upset. It's nothing. I'm not crippled. It's just a small injury. Did you see the person who pushed you? Huamin asked. No, but my father said I might have ruined someone's plan that day, so the person took revenge. I'm sorry, Zhengro. I got you into this. At this moment, Huamin was filled with guilt. No matter whether Qin Chu suspected Zhengro or not, Huamin felt he had something to do with Zhengro's injury. What are you talking about? I can't blame you. It has nothing to do with you. Zhengro smiled nonchalantly. Does Su Yu know that you were hospitalized? Huamin suddenly remembered the relationship between Zhengro and Su Yu. Chapter 3550. I don't know yet. I didn't tell him. You don't want to tell him? Forget it. I feel like I'm doing this on purpose. It's awkward between us. Then you should stay here and recover. I'm familiar with the orthopedics department and will check on you regularly. If you want to eat something, tell me and I'll have the housekeeper make it for you. It's not easy for you to stay in the hospital alone. Let me know if you need anything. Okay. Zhengro nodded. I'll go check on you now. Huamin stood up and was about to leave. By the way, Huamin, did your sister leave? Yeah, she left. What's up? Nothing. I just think Lu Yin is fun and want to play with her to relieve my boredom. She's back in China. Huamin didn't talk much about Lu Yin. He wouldn't tell anyone about her. It was the first time Zhengro had asked, so Huamin didn't get suspicious. At noon in the hospital cafeteria, Lady Su found Huamin and sat down across from him. Annie Su, you're not busy today? No, I'm not busy. Mian, have you contacted Yao recently? No, I just came back from a business trip. Oh, I see. What's wrong? Did something happen to her over there? No, but that kid has been here for a few days and I haven't gone to see her. I asked someone to buy 2 dresses in Europe. They look pretty and I think they suit her, so I want to go over and give them to her. But you know, if I go to use company, it'll cause too much of a stir, so give them to me. I'll give them to her after work. Huamin was smart and of course knew what Lady Su meant. Want to be too much trouble for you? No, Andy. We've known each other for a long time, and I know you like her very much. It's normal for you to buy gifts for her. I'll give them to her. I told Su Yu that she's my relative. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Mian, you're so considerate. I'm very happy. After having lunch with Lady Su, Huamin took the bag back to his office. After work, she asked her driver and bodyguard to send her to Imperial Star. The trainees got off work late, so when Huamin arrived, they were still practicing hard in the dance classroom. Huamian waited patiently outside the dance studio with her things in hand. Her bodyguards followed closely behind her. At this moment, there was a meddlesome girl in the dance classroom. She looked out of the window and whispered, "Look, isn't that Mrs. Qin?" "I think so. I haven't seen her in a long time. Her skin is pretty good. She's pregnant, but still so pleasing to the eye." "Is there? Why didn't I notice it? She looks so ordinary. I really don't know what our big boss Sue likes about her." "Don't talk if you don't know. They all say that women have high EQ and know how to behave. President Sue treats her very well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been single for so many years." Places with a lot of women were full of gossip. They all talked at once. Han Yueyao didn't say a word. She tilted her head and looked into Huamin's eyes. She gave Huamin a polite look, which meant, "Wait for me." Huamin smiled. Just like that, they waited for about 10 seconds before the class finally ended. Han Yueyao wiped the sweat off her forehead and walked out of the classroom. Huamin and Han Yueyao know each other. As the class president, Gao Yeruo finally realized what was going on. Oh my God. I knew it. She came later. How about you get into our class? She said she didn't get in through the back door. She's so shameless. She obviously used her connections. The other girls also cursed. Sister Mion, sorry for making you wait for so long. It's okay. Sit down and rest. Then, Huamin took out a disposable wet wipe from his bag and handed it to Han Yueyao. Sister Mion, what can I do for you? Auntie Sue asked me to give this to you. Huamin handed her the dress with both hands. Chapter 35:51. What's this? Looking at the exquisite bag Huamin handed to her, Han Yueyao didn't take it immediately. It's a dress. Sister Mian, I don't want it. Why? I've used Auntie Sue once and don't want to accept such expensive things again. Glancing at the bag, Han Yueyao knew this brand of dress was expensive. Although Han Yueyao was from a small family, she didn't want to take advantage of others. Huamin understood her feelings. It's natural for an old woman to be worried about her son. Auntie Sue's kind intentions. You should accept it first. If you feel bad, you could buy something back when you have the chance to earn money in the future. Just treat it as reciprocity. Sister Mian, you don't blame me? Han Yueyao was surprised to see Huamin talking to her gently. Blame you for what? It's my fault that I used such a despicable method to get into Imperial Star, Han Yueyao said and lowered her head. Why would I blame you? I appreciate your honesty. You said you wouldn't do anything to hurt Suyu. You just want to make more money as an artist. What's wrong with that? Huamin smiled gently. In this strange city, Han Yueyao had no familiar friends or family. She was touched by Huamin's kindness, even if it was because of someone else. I'll take it. Otherwise, you won't be able to explain it to your boss. Han Yueyao didn't hesitate and took the bag. Okay, Sister Mian, you're about to give birth, right? There's still a few days left. Huamin smiled as he rubbed his belly. Then you must take good care of yourself and the baby. Okay, yeah, I'll go now. Send me a WeChat message if you need me. I won't eat with you today. No. Oh, by the way, this is for you. Huamin handed her a bag of food. This is... Han Yueyao didn't know what was inside and didn't dare take it. This was because she knew that people like Huamin and Suyu had to pay sky-high prices for their daily necessities. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to return the favor after accepting it. I just passed by the supermarket and bought some fresh fruits for my daughters. I was planning to go home and make juice for them. I saw that the peaches and melons were good, so I bought some more for you. You should eat some fruits. They're good for your skin. Seeing it wasn't valuable, she reached out to take it. Thanks, Sister Mian. You're welcome. Go ahead. After that, Huamin stood up and left under the escort of his bodyguards. She walked back to the classroom with the fruits. At this moment, the way everyone looked at her changed. Didn't you say that you didn't use any connections? Then how do you know Huamin? Gao Yeruo asked aggressively. What's wrong with knowing Huamin? Is it illegal? Han Yueyao replied coldly. Stop pretending. Everyone here knows that Huamin is President Su's friend. You have such a powerful backer, so why are you still pretending to be a newbie? Disgusting. Yeah, Han Yueyao, I didn't know that you were such a scheming bitch. What a waste of our sincerity. Maybe it was because Gao Yero took the lead, but the other girls also gathered around. They seemed to want to punish Han Yueyao. I think it's funny that you're talking like this. Even if I got in through connections, does it have anything to do with you? Gao Yeruo, if your aunt wasn't Yeling Xuan's agent and knew the superstar, you wouldn't have been able to get in so easily. Don't think that I don't know anything just because I'm from another city. Since we're all bad people, let's not talk about each other. What did you say? Who's bad? Gao Yeruo seemed angry. She rushed over and grabbed Han Yueyao's collar. Chapter 35:52. I said no one's a good person. Unafraid, Han Yueyao repeated herself. Do you believe that I'll slap you to death? Gao Yeruo had always been one of the more talented trainees in this batch. Her aunt used to be Yeling Xuan's agent after Yeling Xian became famous. After Yeling Xian became famous, her aunt also became popular for a while. Later, Yeling Xian went abroad to study. Her aunt stayed behind and continued to manage other artists, although none of them were very popular. After all, she was an old member of Imperial Star, so Gao Yeruo was well taken care of. She was also the captain, so the girls here were all afraid of her and tried to please her. If you want to hit me, then hit me. But I'll definitely hit you back. Don't cry if I scratch you and you get scars or something. Han Yueyao seemed to want to put the ugly side of things first. You're too arrogant. I must teach you a lesson today. With that, Gao Yuruo raised her hand and was about to hit her. Suddenly, a voice came from the door of the classroom. What are you doing? Everyone turned their heads and was instantly frightened out of their wits. President Su? Hello, President Su. President Su, why are you here? The girls' eyes lit up when they saw the big boss, and they almost surrounded him. Su walked in front with him behind him. The two walked into the dance classroom one after the other. Look at you guys. You're so free that you have time to fight, right? Suyu's face was cold. Han Yueyao lowered her head and didn't say anything. Gao Yuruo immediately pointed at Han Yueyao. President Su, she started it. She said I'm not a good person. Everyone here can testify for me, Gao Yuruo complained. Yes, President Su. We all heard it. Han Yueyao started it. The girls were afraid of offending Gao Yuruo, so they didn't dare to not speak for her. As the saying goes, everyone kicks a man when he's down. Han Yueyao didn't have many friends, so she was at a disadvantage. What happened? So you looked at her and asked. Gao Yuo said I got in through the back door. Yeah, I admit it, but she's the same. So I told her that since we're both bad people, we shouldn't blame each other. She said I scolded her and took it as her own fault. I don't think she's suitable to be an artist with such a low EQ. Imperial star standards are really low. What did you say? She murmured the last few words, so Suyu didn't hear them clearly. Nothing. Han Yueyao put her hands behind her back and lowered her head. You guys are really promising. The company has trained several batches of trainees, but none of them fought in the classroom like you guys. You didn't, right? Han Yueyao emphasized. Shut up. You're so capable. Suyu snorted at her. Gao Yuruo was thrilled to see Suyu scold Han Yueyao. She immediately added fuel to the fire. President Su, we all know that Han Yueyao was introduced by your friend, Dr. Hua, so we have to respect her. But if she goes too far, what will the other students do? It's not fair. She's new and knows nothing. She's so arrogant. Gao Yuruo, you flatter me. Han Yueyao glared at her. You, come with me to my office. So you pointed at Han Yueyao and frowned slightly. Then, he turned around and left. I'm not going. Han Yueyao's voice wasn't loud, but everyone heard it clearly. Suyu had just taken a few steps when he heard the girl say she wasn't going. He was furious. He turned around and glared at Han Yueyao. Say that again. Chapter 35:53. I said, I'm not going. Do you know who you're talking to? Suyu asked her coldly. Yes, the big boss of our company. Then why are you saying that? Han Yueyao, don't think I can't do anything to you just because you were introduced by Huamin. Suyu was furious. President Su, my name is Han Yueyao. Thank you. Hearing Han Yueyao's words, the people around them laughed. Hey, what are you laughing at? Shut up. And felt extremely embarrassed, so he immediately raised his hand to save some face for his boss. I don't think I'm arrogant just because I was introduced by Sister Mion. It's not my fault. Why did you only ask me to go to the office? Suyu cursed this girl thousands of times his heart. Why couldn't they talk in private? There were so many people here, and some things were inconvenient to talk about. Why didn't this damn girl understand? Was her EQ so low that she didn't understand his good intentions? President Su, she's just a newcomer. If word gets out that she speaks to you like this, where will your prestige go? Yeah, President Su, where will your prestige go? President Su, why don't we kick Han Yueyao out? She doesn't have any chemistry with us and won't cooperate with us in future shows. If something happens, it'll bring shame to our company. Hearing Gao Yuruo's words, the women immediately followed suit. Han Yueyao, look, you've only been here for a few days, and you're already so popular. Do you know that? For the sake of his reputation, Suyu continued to lecture Han Yueyao. So what should I do now? Should I leave? Han Yueyao, just listen to President Su's lecture. Don't talk back. Hurry up and apologize. And also found that this girl was a bit fierce. She didn't give Suyu any face, so she put herself in a difficult position. Of course, so you wouldn't kick her out directly. After all, she was introduced by Huamin. But with so many people here, he couldn't side with her. He wanted to go to the office to talk about it slowly, but this girl refused to go. She was really drunk. Therefore, Shaoan couldn't help but lecture this girl. I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I apologize? President Su, just say the word. If you want to fire me, I'll leave immediately. Don't think that I don't dare. So he was furious. It had been a long time since he had been swindled by a little lass. He wasn't this angry when Zheng Ro slept in his bed last time. Give the order then. Lin Fan nodded. Han Yueyao wiped the sweat off her forehead with a white towel. She didn't look scared. The atmosphere was in a deadlock. What he was most afraid of was the sudden silence in the air. Ahem. President Su, I just remembered that you have a meeting later. Let's go. And broke the heavy atmosphere. I'll let you off today, but there won't be a next time. Su Yu quickly found a way out, then turned around and left. His face still had the unique aura of a big boss. You're lucky. Humph. But you won't be here for long. Gao Yeruo glared at Han Yueyao. I'd rather go home than train with people like you. Han Yueyao didn't want to talk to them. They were just jealous that Sister Mian came to see her. Gao Yeruo knew that Han Yueyao was very talented. She was afraid that she would become her strongest opponent, so she found opportunities to exclude her. After going downstairs, Su Yu finally didn't have to keep a straight face. Fuck, I was so embarrassed just now, Su Yu said. President Su, I found that Han Yueyao is indeed a little stupid. Is that girl a tiger? How could such a person be an artist? Is Dr. He sure he's not tricking us? And almost doubted his life. Chapter 3554. No, I don't think I can control her. I'll talk to Mian later. But you can't drive her away. Dr. Huo will be angry. Do I need you to tell me that? I know that. So you glanced at it in disdain. So you thought Han Yueyao was born to be his enemy. She refused to go to the press conference. She fought with him, but refused to apologize. Instead, she yelled at him. If it weren't for Huo Mian, he would have picked her up and thrown her out of the room. At this moment, and received a WeChat message. He froze when he read it. President Su, have you contacted Miss Zheng? Which Miss Zheng? So he was still angry and didn't react. Miss Zheng Ro. No. What's wrong? She's in the city. Why did she come back? So he was curious. She seems to be in the hospital. Huh? How do you know? I saw her post in her WeChat moments this morning and thought she was joking with me. I left her a message, and she replied that she wanted to eat lotus leaf noodles and asked me if I could buy some for her. Where are you sending her to? South Side? President Su, are you dazed by Han Yueyao's words? You're so slow, and complained. Su Yu, she's at South Side? What's she doing there? Su Yu was puzzled. Who knows? Do you want to ask her? And asked Su Yu tentatively. Forget it. I won't ask. Then I'll ask. With a smirk, and sent a voice message to Zheng Ro. Miss Zheng, why are you at Southside? I'm in the hospital. And turned on the speaker so Zheng Ro's voice could be heard clearly. You're in the hospital? What's wrong? My leg injury flared up. The doctors in the province don't have the authority, so my dad asked me to come here to recuperate. My goodness, why didn't you tell us? Why should I tell you? You're making it sound like I'm sticking to your President Su on purpose. He doesn't like me to begin with. Zheng Ro said that on purpose because she knew that Su Yu must be within sure enough. After Su Yu heard this, his expression became unnatural. This damned woman dares to speak ill of me behind my back. President Su, should we go and see Miss Zheng? Go and buy a flower basket for me. That's all. Su Yu had no interest in Zheng Ro, so he took out 1,000 yuan from his wallet and stuffed it into Anne's hand. Then he left. President Su, are you going to drive home after work? Why would I go home? I'm going to find Shinmingshi for a drink. After saying this, Su Yu turned around and left. With the 1,000 yuan Su Yu gave him, and drove to Southside to see Zheng Ro. At the same time, office of the Commissioner of Municipal Bureau Qin, Chu and Gao Ran were sitting across from each other, drinking tea. Mr. Fong was killed to keep his mouth shut, and all the clues are gone. The person who wants to buy Mian at a high price can't find a clue. I wonder if it has something to do with Zhang Ro. Chu, do you want to keep investigating? Gao ran and Chu sorted through the buttons and found many clues and suspicious points. However, all the clues were cut off by those people. Their killing methods were extremely horrifying. All of them attacked, and not a single one of them survived. Chu didn't dare to imagine what would happen if Mian was caught by these people. Don't forget that fourth Master Fong got in touch with those people through a man named Wang Ji. Chu looked at the scattered reports that his subordinates had sent him. Who's Wang Ji? Gao Ran frowned slightly. A drug lord. If we find him, we'll know the identities of those people. But is he still alive? Was he killed too? He's alive, but he's not in China. He's in Thailand. Then it's difficult. There are many restrictions in foreign countries to arrest people. Our level isn't enough. Only the Interpol can do it. Gao Ran shook his head, feeling troubled. If I remember correctly, Lu Yin is still in Thailand. Chu said slowly. You want to ask your mighty sister-in-law for help? Gao Ran chuckled. Chapter 3555. My sister-in-law isn't an ordinary person. Don't underestimate her. Chu smiled, but didn't say anything. I'm a little hungry. Let's go for supper. Gao Ran glanced at his watch. Let's go. Your treat? Gao Ran smiled shamelessly. My treat every time. The problem is that you're rich. Hee. You're richer than me. Director Gao, I know you're fair and honest and don't take bribes. You even give your little salary to your wife. Okay? I can't compare with you. Your wife doesn't want your salary. Gao Ran was envious. My wife isn't interested in money, Chu explained. Bullshit. Your wife is just too rich. Fine. She just doesn't care about the money. Vice Director Hua is a rich woman in disguise. I'll get my son to please his mother-in-law someday, so that she can share more with us. Don't give it all to that brat from the Wei family. You make it sound like our little bean will definitely marry your family. Mr. Qin felt sour and upset. It's only a matter of time. My Buyuan isn't good to me and his mother. He's a warm man to little bean. No. He's a warm stove. Your little bean won't be taken advantage of. Of course, Chu, you'd better prepare a dowry of several billion yuan. We don't mind. You can transfer the money to my account. Aren't you afraid the Bureau will investigate you for money laundering? I'm not afraid. When my son gets married, I'll resign in advance and be done with it. Huh. You're the most shameless director I've ever met, Chu complained. Huh. Thank you for your compliment. With his arm around Chu's waist, Gao Ran walked out of the bureau and went for supper. On the other side, Han Yueyao wasn't displeased by Su Yu's reprimand. In this place, it was normal to be ostracized, bullied, and wronged. After all, she had often encountered such quarrels in the dance academy. It was just that, if Su Yu really had a bad impression of her because of this matter and drove her away, she had nothing to say. But she knew that since Huamin had introduced her to him, Su Yu wouldn't really kick her out. As for Gao Yeruo, she was too lazy to argue with her. She always thought that arguing with someone was the most time-consuming thing in the world. If he had the time, he might as well play a round of Challenger. When she returned to her room, she did not have much of an appetite. She washed a few of the fruits that Huamin had brought her and placed them on the bedside cabinet. Then, he took out his phone and played games. At this moment, the door was pushed open. She sat up and greeted him. You're back. Su Xiaoxiao reeked of alcohol. She threw herself on the bed and grunted. Are you drunk? Maybe. Can you give me a glass of water? Thank you. Su Xiaoxiao said vaguely. All right. Han Yueyao put down her cell phone and got up to pour her a glass of water. She was afraid the hot water would be too hot, so she added some cold water from the water dispenser. Finally, she handed her the warm water. Su Xiaoxiao drank it all in one gulp. Do I smell of alcohol? Yeah. How much did you drink? Han Yueyao asked her. I don't remember. About 7 or 8 bottles. Su Xiaoxiao touched her head and tried hard to recall. You can drink that much? Han Yueyao was exasperated. I heard you had a fight with someone today. Su Xiaoxiao looked up at Han Yueyao when she regained her energy. Chapter 3556. You've heard about it. Here, nothing is fast but gossip spreads the fastest. Those gossips can't wait to post it on their WeChat moments to show off. Yeah, I had an argument with Gao Yeruo. That's normal. She can't get along well with anyone. You don't seem to have a good relationship with them either. Of course, they look down on each other. They said that I'm selling them. Damn, I'm selling them because I'm original. They look like bears. Even plastic surgery can't save them. They can't even sell them. Han Yueyao. Su Xiaoxiao was a big talker and used profanities. Han Yueyao didn't know what to say, but she liked this girl. At least she cherished her. You'd better show your true colors. Don't disguise people behind their backs. No matter what Su Xiaoxiao's style was, she spoke her mind. Now it seemed that it was good to be in the same dorm as her. If she stayed with those women, she'd probably die of anger. Don't worry. President Su won't kick you out. Why are you so sure? Han Yueyao glanced at Su Xiaoxiao, wondering where she got her confidence from. Because President Su likes Dr. Hua the most. You were introduced by Dr. Hua. Even if you dug up Gao Yeruo's ancestral grave, President Su won't fire you, let alone argue with her. Huh? Don't worry. I don't dig up other people's ancestral graves. That's immoral. Su Xiaoxiao's way of speaking was very interesting. Han Yueyao couldn't help laughing. I'm just saying, I don't really want you to dig it up. I know. You're funny. I like this way of speaking. It's not so tiring to be with you. Aren't you afraid of being gossiped about when you interact with me? Su Xiaoxiao asked her. If you're not afraid, why should I be? Han Yueyao chuckled. Actually, you have a good foundation. Why didn't you ask Dr. Hua to find you an actor? Why are you here as a trainee? It's a waste of time. I'm not that greedy. I don't have any personal relationship with Dr. Hua. I'm only doing this because someone asked me to. I don't want to ask for too much and make things difficult for him. No wonder. Do you know who Dr. Hua's godbrother is? Su Xiaoxiao leaned against the headboard, took out a cigarette, and lit it. She didn't ask if Han Yueyao would mind, but Su Xiaoxiao was a woman who never followed the rules. I don't know much about it. I used to be from another city. Then do you know an Aiyong? I know him. He's a super handsome boy. I like his songs. It's a pity that he hasn't released any songs in the past 2 years. He also stopped acting. After he got married, he retired. Yes, Na Yang is Dr. Hua's godbrother. There's such a thing? I know you don't know anything. It's not a big deal. Dr. Hua has a lot of connections, and her husband is rich. If she wants to make someone famous, she can throw money at you. Besides, with her relationship with President Su, she can get you the female lead role with a few words. Forget it. I don't have much experience and have never studied acting. As a dancer, I should know my limits. How about you work for me and I'll take you to see the world? Su Xiaoxiao said. This, of course. If you're afraid, forget it. After all, the people I work with aren't good people. It's not that. I just feel bad that you help me when we're not related. It's okay. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Su Xiaoxiao choked on the cigarette and coughed. She couldn't help but chuckle. Do you hate Su Yu's guts after he scolded you today? Su Xiaoxiao looked at Han Yueyao and asked, amused. Yeah, after he scolded me, I was dumbfounded. I don't understand why he believed in the performance of a group of scheming bitches. Han Yueyao still felt bitter when she thought about how Su Yu scolded her. Chapter 35:57. That's because you're new. If they protect you, they'll anger the public. Saw the scapegoat? Han Yueyao smiled helplessly. No, they'll hit the bird that sticks out. If they want to mess with you, they won't let you off easily. But you talk back to Gao Yeruo. You know she has a powerful backer. I know. My cousin used to be Big Star Nye's agent. Do you know the relationship between Big Star Nye and President Su? What relationship? Han Yueyao was surprised. She didn't know much about it. She only knew that Nye Lingxian was an A-lister who went abroad. She's President Su's rumored girlfriend. Oh, I've heard of her. You don't know the details. Nye Lingxian went abroad because of President Su, so he feels guilty and treats Nye Lingxian well. When Gao Yeruo came, Nye Lingxian called President Su and asked him to take care of her. President Su wouldn't break his promise. I see. No wonder. So you should learn to be smarter in the future. Xiao Xiao, I want to quit being a trainee. Why? Su Xiao didn't look surprised. I don't think it's suitable for me. I don't want to debut in a group or solo. What do you want to do? I want to accept roles. Just like you, I want to make money. Anyway, my goal is to make money. Who do you think you are? You want to accept roles without connections or money? Sister, don't be naive. I'm not naive. I can start as a maid. I can endure hardships. I'm not afraid of less screen time or hard work. I can even be an extra. An extra? Are you stupid? You and Gao Yeruo are the most talented in this batch of trainees. President Su will definitely support you. He'll release a new single for you and hype it up on the internet. You'll be famous. If you become an extra, I wonder how long it'll take for you to become famous. It's okay. I don't want to be famous anyway. It's strange that someone like you would come to an entertainment company. Su Xiao found Han Yueyao even stranger. I regret it too. If I knew it was so hard, I would have stayed as a dance teacher. Han Yueyao smiled slightly. Forget about being a dance teacher. You can't be a dance teacher for the rest of your life. You have Dr. Hua as a great resource, so you should make good use of it. These are all debts of gratitude. I will definitely return them to Dr. Hua. All right, here's some fruit for you. She picked up the fruit and handed it to Su Xiao. She didn't take it. Instead, she saw the bag Huamin gave her. Dolce & Gabbana dress? Sure. Are you talking about this? I didn't buy it. It was a gift from Sister Huamin. To avoid unnecessary trouble, Han Yueyao didn't say it was a gift from Lady Su. This dress is worth tens of thousands. She's really generous to you. Yeah, Big Sister Huamin takes good care of me. That's why I have to work harder and not let her down. Han Yueyao didn't open the bag. The dress was still there. She did not intend to spread the news. She did not want to wear a dress that cost tens of thousands of yuan and flat shoes that cost 100 yuan. She wasn't a princess and didn't want to pretend. It was too tiring. Lady Su might have meant well, but Han Yueyao didn't think she could afford such a dress. It was too extravagant. If I were Huamin, I'd get a divorce and marry President Su, Su Xiao suddenly said. Then she stood up and stubbed out the cigarette. Chapter 35-58. President Su is good to Sister Huamin. Han Yueyao thought carefully and found Su Yu was usually impatient with anyone. Everyone in the company was afraid of his temper. But when they had dinner together that day, Su Yu had looked at Huamin with faint gentleness in his eyes. Not to mention losing his temper. He looked as if he didn't have any temper at all. Han Yueyao thought of Huamin again. Although she wasn't a beauty, she had a good personality. She didn't talk, was quiet, smart, and low-key. These were enough to make a man like her for a lifetime. If you were Huamin, would you like Qin Shu or Su Yu? Su Xiao asked her. I don't know President Qin very well, but I have a feeling that Sister Mian has been with her husband for so many years. They must have a very deep relationship. President Su is a good man, but everything is first come, first served. Since they met when they were young, President Su showed up at the wrong time. It's inevitable that she'll regret it. I find you have good values. Su Xiao glanced at Han Yueyao with a smile. Of course. My parents said that I can live my life without wealth or success, but I must be an honest person. I can't do anything that crosses my moral bottom line. I can't be a third party either. Your parents are teachers, right? Su Xiao guessed. My mom is a teacher. No wonder. Su Xiao couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? Nothing. Okay, I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep. Su Xiao changed out of her nightgown and went into the bathroom to take a shower. Lying on the bed, Han Yueyao was about to fall asleep. While she was drowsy, her cell phone beeped with a WeChat message. She picked it up and saw it was from Su Yu. Come out. Where to? On WeChat. Tell me where to go. What's up? What do you think of what happened today? Su Yu typed and asked her. President Su is a little blind today. Question mark. Su Yu sent her a question mark, thinking she had dialed the wrong number. President Su, can't you see that I'm just a scheming bitch? You misunderstood and wronged me. Are you blind? Was your account hacked? Do you know who you're talking to? Su Yu asked patiently. My account was hacked. I am Qin Shi Huang. Hurry up and transfer the money so that you can make the terracotta army. She suddenly remembered the jokes online and decided to make fun of Suyu to vent her anger. Suyu, it seems that we have to send this batch of trainees for a physical examination tomorrow. Our company will not accept anyone with mental problems, no matter who introduced them. Hearing Suyu's serious words, Han Yueyao almost burst out laughing. He remained silent for a long time. Then Suyu explained, "You can leave the trainee class tomorrow. You don't have to go. If I'm fired just like that, then I've been studying for nothing these past few days? Will President Su reimburse me for my travel expenses back to my hometown?" "Who said I'm firing you?" Suyu replied in a huff. "Then, you mean you can go to the performance department starting tomorrow. I'll arrange for you to take on commercial performances. Aren't you a dance major?" Okay. Then, will I get paid for the commercial performances?" Han Yueyao asked carefully. "You can have it all. The company won't take a cut." Haha, that's good. I like it." Han Yueyao was overjoyed. During this time, when you're not working, you can learn acting from the teachers in the acting department. I'll look around and see if the company has a new movie or TV series. Of course, you can't be the main character, so you emphasized. "It's okay. I can play a dead body as long as I get paid. I'm not afraid," Han Yueyao replied enthusiastically. Suyu was speechless again. This girl was definitely abnormal. Yes, she was completely different from normal people. What on earth did Huamin find for him? What was this? Chapter 35:59. Little girl, if you talk like this, you won't have any friends. Do you know that? I know. Then why don't you repent? Suyu lectured her. But why do I need so many friends? Suyu, awkward conversation. Yes, they were talking about them. Okay, I'm done. You can report to the performance department tomorrow. Okay, aren't you going to say thank you? Suyu was angry. I'll say thank you to Sister Mion. You won't like me even if I say thank you to you. I don't like you, Suyu said bluntly. What a coincidence. I don't like you either. Suyu. After speaking, Suyu still felt angry. When he got home, he wondered if he was too strict with Han Yueyao today. After thinking about it, he decided to transfer her to another department to avoid a fight with Gao Yeruo. Since Nieling Xian had asked Gao Yeruo to join the performance department, he couldn't neglect her. He thought Han Yueyao would be overjoyed to be transferred to the performance department. Unfortunately, she didn't care at all. How infuriating. Just then, his mother called him and asked him to come home for dinner. Suyu drove home. Lady Su made some of her son's favorite dishes. Lord Su and Mr. Su weren't home. It was just the mother and son. Suyu was getting busier and busier and rarely came home for dinner. Lady Su kept putting food into her son's bowl. "Mom, don't keep putting food into my bowl. You should eat before the food gets cold. You've grown up so fast. You're an adult now," Mrs. Su exclaimed. "Mom, how's work at Southside? Are you tired?" "Not at all. It's great. I can see Mion every day. It's great. I like it." At the mention of Mion, Suyu thought of Huamin. He wondered where Huamin found him such a weirdo. "By the way, Mion said she has a relative working in your company, right?" "Yes." Suyu seemed reluctant to mention it. "How was that girl? How did she perform?" Lady Su took the opportunity to inquire. "She's nothing. She's so stupid. If Mion didn't introduce her to me, I would have kicked her out," Suyu scolded angrily. "But I heard that the girl graduated from a dance academy. She's quite pretty. So what if it's a dance academy? I'm here to create stars, not to hire dance teachers." Stop being so smug. Seeing that her son was angry, Lady Su didn't dare to ask more, fearing that Suyu would become suspicious. So he changed the topic and said, "You've been coming back for dinner less and less recently." "Yeah, I've been a little tired recently. I've been busy. Come to think of it, in the past few years, only when Mion lived with us did you come home for dinner every day." "Mom, don't kick me. It's so awkward." Suyu was a little embarrassed. "I know what you're thinking, but Mion's happy now, and we're happy with her. Let's not think about the past, okay? I didn't want to." Suyu lowered his head and continued eating. After the second child is born, Mion's family will be even happier. "So, you have to get married soon." "Mom, it depends on fate. There's no rush." "How can there be no rush? How old are you?" Seeing that his mother was about to talk about marriage again, Suyu immediately changed the topic. Mom, Zhengro is hospitalized at Southside. Do you know? What? Zhengro? Hospitalized at Southside? You work at Southside. Don't you know? No. Oh my God, what's wrong with her? Why is she hospitalized? Just like that, Suyu successfully changed the topic about his mother. At Southside, and entered with a flower basket and a fruit basket. Excited, Zheng Ro stood up and looked behind and Miss Zheng, President Su didn't come. I was very embarrassed. Chapter 3560. Oh, it's okay. I know he cares about me. Zheng Ro smiled self-mockingly. No, Miss Zheng, President Su, is quite conflicted. As a friend, he should be here to see you, but President Su is afraid that you'll misunderstand and give you hope. It wouldn't be good if he hurt you in the future. Xiao was also very honest. Actually, there was no need to be so explicit about things that he already knew. If he said it out loud, everyone would feel awkward. In the end, Zheng Ro was annoyed. Go back and tell Su Yu that even if he wants to marry me, I won't marry him. Don't think he's the only excellent man in the world. Yes, narcissism is a disease that needs to be cured. Oh, okay, I'll go back and tell him. And was more honest. Zheng Ro was infuriated. Miss Zheng, do you want some fruit? I'll wash it for you. No, leave it here. Zheng Ro waved her hand impatiently at him. Tell me what you want to eat. I'll buy it for you. No, you didn't buy lotus leaf noodles for me. Seeing and only carry a flower basket and a fruit basket without any lotus leaf noodles, Zheng Ro was frustrated. Oh, I really forgot. I'll go and buy it now. And patted his forehead guiltily and turned to leave. Zheng Ro stopped him. Forget it. Don't go. When you come back, it'll be too late. I don't want to eat anymore. Miss Zheng, I'm really sorry. It's my fault. It's okay. Forget it. I'm not Lu Yan. You don't have to worry about me all the time. Zheng Ro observed An's reaction as she spoke. Indeed, he was embarrassed. His love for Lu Yan was supposed to be a secret, but now it seemed like the whole world knew about it. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay to like someone. Zheng Ro comforted him, and nodded and didn't say anything else. And, did you contact Lu Yan after she left? No. Don't you know her overseas number? No. Aren't you close to her? How could this be? Zheng Ro seemed to be more interested in Lu Yan. Her superior had warned her many times not to investigate Lu Yan, or she would be in big trouble if Lu Yan found out. However, Zheng Ro thought Huamin wasn't close to Professor Lu, so she thought it would be faster to start with Lu Yan. After all, Lu Yan had grown up with Professor Lu. Huamin, on the other hand, was a child who had been fostered in a commoner's home. Other than his identity, he definitely knew nothing about those confidential matters. It's impossible for me and Lu Yan to be together. She's... paused. Then, he continued, she's rich and has so much money that she can't spend it all in her lifetime. I'm just a stinky bodyguard. What's wrong with being a bodyguard? Being a bodyguard is a noble profession. I think you only need to be sincere when you like someone, Zheng Ro argued. Zheng Ro tried to tell him more about Lu Yan. Forget it. This view won't work. Look at President Su. He's like Dr. Hua for a long time. He's even willing to die for him, but they still couldn't be together. There are too many factors that determine whether two people can be together. Lu Yan and I don't meet any of those criteria. Don't be discouraged, young man. Tell me when Lu Yan will come again. I'll help you persuade her. Zheng Ro gave him a comforting look. Next time, I don't know how long I'll have to wait. Thinking that Lu Yan wouldn't come again, and even if she did, she wouldn't show up in public, and felt hopeless. In Thailand, Southeast Asia, after being nagged for a long time, Lu Yan's ears turned red. Who's bad-mouthing me behind my back? Damn it. Lu Yan jumped up from the bed, a bit irritated. Boss, there's a new development. Come in, Lu Yan yelled. Then, she grabbed a bathrobe and put it on. Chapter 3561. Boss, the latest news is that Amy was tortured to death by young Master Qiao's father's men. Oh, she died so soon? Yeah, the Qiao family is very cruel. To force out Xiao Nan's whereabouts, they probably used all kinds of torture methods. Amy was poisoned to begin with, so the toxins in her body exploded prematurely, causing her to fester and die. Where's the body? The Chow family put in a sack and threw it into the river in the west. Amy no longer has an international identity. Even if the Thai police find her body, they won't investigate it. After all, it's not a case in their country. Lu Yin nodded. Yeah, in Thailand, too many people die every day. Who would care about such things? That bitch is finally dead. She betrayed boss and deserved to die. Do you know what Amy did wrong? Lu Yin asked her subordinate. She shouldn't have coveted young Master Chiao. Wrong. She shouldn't have coveted Chiao Fei. The most important thing is that she doesn't know the relationship between us. She always thought we were employer and subordinate, but that's not the case. I was the one who saved AI Mi's life back then. She has a lot of enemies, and she failed that mission. Even her old boss is after her, so she has nowhere to go. That's why she wants to follow me no matter what. She even said she would work for me, but unfortunately, a cow wouldn't disobey its master. She was too greedy. That woman has evil intentions. Boss, you've been very good to her in the past few years. You gave her money and weapons when she asked for them, but she wanted to steal your things. That's not her fault. Everyone is greedy. The only thing that displeases me is that she's too stupid. After being with me for so long, her IQ hasn't improved at all. Working with Xiao Nen won't end well, because Xiao Nan is a bastard. By the way, boss, is Xiao Nen still locked in the basement? Should we kill him? Of course not. I'm still waiting for the big fish to take the bait. Lu Yin smiled. Okay, then we'll continue to monitor him. Where's Psycho Xiao? He went to the conference with his father. Oh, now that Xiao Nen isn't here, he thinks of his youngest son. Uncle Xiao is old and muddle-headed. Boss, what about us? Are we still resting in the hotel? Of course not. I'll change now. Wait for me downstairs in 5 minutes. Where are we going? His subordinate was startled. How can I, Lu Yin, be absent from this Asian mafia conference? Lu Yin smiled wickedly. 5 minutes later, when Lu Yin came downstairs, her subordinates were so surprised that their jaws almost dropped. Lu Yin usually wore tights and a black windbreaker, because this way it was especially clean and efficient. Only when they were in China did Huamin let Lu Yin wear dresses like a socialite. With Lu Yin's beauty, even if she wore the most ordinary clothes, she would still be devastatingly beautiful. However, she spent most of her time chasing others and being chased by others. Therefore, he wore hotel bathrobes the most. It was the first time her subordinates had seen Lu Yin dressed so sexily and beautifully. It was a light red evening gown. The shoulders and the entire neck were exposed, and it was strapless. Her skirt reached her knees, and she had taken off her watch. Instead, she was wearing a Cartier bracelet that was worth hundreds of thousands. Her long hair was tied up slightly, and she wore expensive pearl earrings. In her hand was a Hermes bag. Today, she was dressed like a world-class socialite. Boss, are you going to participate in the Miss Universe pageant? One of her subordinates couldn't help but ask. Chapter 3562. Damn it, I'm going to a meeting. Her subordinates. What are you waiting for? Start the car. Sitting in the retro classic car, Lu Yin gave orders angrily. She didn't bring many people with her this time. Including the chauffeur, she only brought 3 people with her. The rest of them either stayed in the hotel to watch over Xiao Nan or stayed in the basement to watch over him. Lu Yin's arrival really shocked everyone. In fact, many people at the Asian Mafia gathering didn't know who Lu Yin was. But they had heard of Lu Yin's name long ago. When Lu Yin arrived, the check-in session was about to end. It's really trendy now. Even a gang gathering has to be like a red carpet. Whose idea is this? Lu Yin cursed in a low voice as she walked. Hello, which gang are you from? The receptionist asked Lu Yin in fluent English. I'm from the Chow family, a Russian mafia. Lu Yin shamelessly used the name of the Chow family. She was afraid that if she said she was Lu Yin, the people here would explode. That would be interesting. Some of them were Lu Yin's enemies, and Lu Yin had killed many of their people. For example, the mafia in Macau. They once stole the goods of a Laotian mafia and killed their people. One of them was the youngest son of the leader, so the leader of the Laotian Mafia was furious. He took out 500 million yuan and asked Liu Yan's people to wipe out the whole family of the mafia boss in Macau. Liu Yan and her subordinates did this in person. The current leader of the mafia in Macau had changed, but their grudges were still there. If they knew Liu Yan was here, they would probably pull out their guns. Do you have an invitation? The receptionist confirmed Liu Yan's identity again. Liu Yan smiled and picked up her handbag. Her subordinates thought their boss was going to start a massacre. To their surprise, Liu Yan took out a small mirror and touched up her makeup in front of the man. She looked very seductive. The invitation letter is with my boyfriend. What's your boyfriend's name? Can you tell me his name? Liu Yan lost her patience and was about to lose her temper. Just then, Xiao Fei walked out of nowhere and put his arm around Liu Yan's waist. Baby, why are you so late? It's about to start. Liu Yan smiled awkwardly. She couldn't lose her temper in front of others. However, was Psycho Qiao addicted to taking advantage of her? Oh, so you're young Master Qiao's girlfriend. My apologies. When the receptionist saw that they were really from the Russian mafia, he didn't dare to ask any more questions. Xiao Fei walked in with Liu Yan. The subordinates behind him also started gossiping. Young Master Qiao is so cool. He dared to directly put his hand on boss's waist. If it were someone else, his hand would have been broken long ago. Nonsense. Your neck will be broken. That's why I say young Master Qiao is mighty and domineering. I think he and our boss are a match made in heaven. Didn't they say that everything in the world has its counter? Boss is such a domineering person. There has to be someone who can suppress her. This is called everything has its counter. Fuck. Can you let go of my hand? Liu Yan felt awkward being held so tightly by Xiao Fei. I haven't even taught you a lesson yet. Who told you to dress like this? Xiao Fei reprimanded her with a dark face. What am I wearing? Liu Yan looked up and glared at Xiao Fei. You're almost naked. Xiao Fei liked Liu Yan's sexiness, but he didn't want her to openly show it to everyone. Chapter 3563. Go to hell. You're the one who's naked. Don't you know how to talk? Liu Yan felt aggrieved that Psycho Qiao had scolded her so harshly when she was dressed so beautifully. Why are you here? Xiao Fei was surprised that Liu Yan had never said she would come. I'm bored in the hotel, so I came here to get a free meal. Xiao Fei. What's with that expression? Miss Liu Yan, one of the richest people in the world, said you were here to get a free meal. Do you think I'll believe you? Just think of it as me coming here for dinner. So you're here in the name of the Qiao family? Of course. If I say I'm from the Taiwan Sanlian gang and the girlfriend of the leader of the Four-Eyed Chicken gang, what will you do? Then I'll kill him for sure, Xiao Fei said with a straight face. That's right. That's why, in order to avoid unnecessary bloodshed, I'll let you take the blame. All right, you win. Lin Fan smiled. Liu Yan always had her own twisted logic, but Xiao Fei wasn't really angry. Xiao Fei was quite happy to hear that she knew to tell others that she was a member of the Qiao family. Of course, he didn't show it on his face. Do you know how many enemies you have here? Xiao Fei asked in a low voice. Not many. There are about 20 families here. I think I've made enemies with 15 of them. So, you're not here to cause trouble? Xiao Fei thought it was dangerous for Liu Yan to appear here in public. It's okay. None of them have seen my real face, not even your father. Xiao Fei was surprised to hear her words. She didn't wear a human skin mask today. Every time she went out on a mission or somewhere else, she had hundreds of human skin masks in her suitcase. She could take any one of them with her, and they would look different. She could change into anything she wanted, and she could even become the person she wanted. She was so good at disguising herself as Amy that Xiao didn't see through her. So when Liu Yan reminded him, Xiao Fei looked down and saw Liu Yan was wearing her real face today. Is it too risky for you to do this? It's okay. It's more exciting. Be careful not to provoke too much, or you won't be able to end it. It's okay. You're here, aren't you? Liu Yan knocked on Xiao Fei's chest fearlessly. In the end, Xiao Fei couldn't bear to scold her. He simply took off his suit jacket and draped it over her body. Isn't it too hot? I don't want to wear. Keep it on. You're not allowed to take it off. If I find out that you dare to take it off, what do you think? Lu Yin raised her chin provocatively. I'll tell everyone that you're Lu Yin. Motherfucker, how devious. So, you better keep a low profile. After you freeload, hurry up and go back to sleep. Will you hate me if I kill your second elder brother? Lu Yin murmured. Whatever. She could tell from Qiao Fei's expression that he had no feelings for Qiao Nan. It was no wonder that Qiao Nan had tried to kill his younger brother many times in order to ostracize him. He even instigated AI Me to poison the coffee. How could Qiao Fei have feelings for someone like him? While they were talking, someone walked up to them. Fei, long time no see. You're still the same as when you were a kid. An older man in a suit walked up to them. Lu Yin turned her head and recognized him. He was an elder of the Hong Kong Mafia. Uncle Wu, Qiao Fei greeted him. I haven't seen you in years. I just saw your father and was talking to him about you. Hey, is this your girlfriend? The man glanced at Lu Yin. My fiancée. Qiao Fei introduced coolly and placed his hand on Lu Yin's, but from behind. Lu Yin wanted to be angry, but didn't dare to do so. Chapter 3564. Whoa, you have a fiancée. She's so pretty. You're so lucky. Hey, how come I heard you were with a demoness? Demoness? Lu Yin froze. The old man looked at Qiao Fei. There was a rumor going around that you had a falling out with your father and left with a demoness. I'm old now, so I don't pay much attention to international news. I heard from the juniors in our gang that the woman is crazy and has killed countless people. What's her name again? Lu Yin. Lu Yin reminded the old man with a smile. Right. Her name is Lu Yin. It's said that she's young but ruthless. She only cares about money. She'll kill anyone as long as you give her money. No, uncle. She has principles and won't kill anyone. She won't kill her father, Lu Yin interrupted. Of course. Who would kill their own father? Hey, little girl, how do you know so much? Because Lu Yin didn't finish. Qiao Fei covered her mouth and said, because she's my fiancée, so she knows a lot. Uncle, I have something to do, so I won't keep you company. Okay, go ahead. You have a good fiancée. Tell me when you get married. The old man said enthusiastically. Qiao Fei walked away with Lu Yin in his arms. I'll remember that old man. Damn it. When I have time, I'll teach him a lesson. Isn't he right? Aren't you ruthless and ruthless? Qiao Fei chuckled. If I'm such a despicable demoness, why are you still following me? Lu Yin pursed her lips. I like ruthless and ruthless people. I don't want those who don't kill many people. Lu Yin, you're a psycho. You're psycho. Lu Yin felt that calling Qiao Fei a psycho wasn't wrong at all. Hey, your father's over there. Yeah. Do you want to go say hi to him? Qiao Fei teased her. Forget it. I'm afraid he'll get a heart attack. Lu Yin chuckled. Okay, don't follow me. Go to the old man. Qiao Nan isn't here, so he can't handle it himself. What about you? Qiao Fei looked at Lu Yin gently. I'll walk around. Don't cause trouble. This is Thailand, and there are more than 20 gangs here. Yes, I know. Be a good girl. Qiao Fei reached out and patted Lu Yin's head as if he was talking to a child. Okay, I'll listen to you. Then Lu Yin secretly added in her mind, of course. Just like that, the two parted ways in the venue. Lu Yin's subordinate followed her closely. You guys go around and see if the people from the Golden Triangle are here. Yes, boss. Be smart and don't get too close to others. You're not allowed to fight with them. This time, you can't cause any trouble. You're just here to sound them out. Got it, boss. After giving her instructions, Lu Yin began to wander around. It was very hot in the venue. Just as she was about to take off her coat, she felt Qiao Fei's murderous gaze through the crowd. In the end, he simply gave up, putting on Qiao Fei's coat. Lu Yin wandered around the buffet-style venue. Then she walked to the champagne rack and picked up a glass of champagne. Just as she was about to drink, she heard a man's voice behind her. Beauty, I've never seen you before. Which family are you from? The man spoke in Chinese, although it wasn't very fluent. Lu Yin turned around. When she saw the man clearly, her eyes flickered. Chapter 3565. It's just a small gang, not worth mentioning. Facing this man, Lu Yin had to be careful. If she told him that she was Qiao Fei's fiancée, she would be in trouble. This man was the Qiao family's biggest business partner in Southeast Asia in recent years. He was also the biggest arms dealer in Southeast Asia, Hu Ao. It was said that his ancestors were rich Burmese businessmen and his family was very rich. This man was only in his early 30s and was very vicious. That was why he could smoothly rise to the top in the huge Hu family. To be exact, Qiao Nen was very close to this man. So, Lu Yin had always wondered if Hu Ao was the one who instigated Qiao Nen to target her. Unfortunately, very few gangsters in the world had ever seen Lu Yin in person. So, even if Hu Ao wanted to catch Lu Yin, he didn't recognize her when he saw her in person. It had to be said that this was the greatest irony. I'm impressed that such a beauty can come from a small gang. Do you want to have a drink with me? Boss Hu, since he thinks so highly of me, let's have a drink. You know me. Hearing the woman in front of him call him Boss Hu Ao felt flattered. Of course. Who doesn't know the arms dealer in Southeast Asia? Haha, you're funny. You don't look old. Are you 20? Hu Ao sized up the woman in front of him. Not only was she exquisite, but she was also very sexy. Not only was she sexy, but she also had a baby face that made people want to press down on her. Hu Ao spent most of his time in the Golden Triangle, where the status of women wasn't very high. So, although he was only in his early 30s, he already had a lot of wives and concubines. Based on incomplete statistics, Hu Ao had as many as 21 wives and 46 children. This was what it meant to have a lot of children. However, out of all his wives, none of them were stunning beauties. So, when he saw Lu Yin, he was attracted by her beauty. And he came over to hit on her regardless of his status. If this girl was from a small gang, it would be easy. Everyone in the small gangs in Asia knew about Boss Hu. So, for the sake of benefits and cooperation, he would give up the woman. It didn't matter if she was someone's mistress or daughter. I'm not 20. I just turned 18 this year. Lu Yin smiled like a flower. 18. Good age. You're a budding flower. Hu Ao had dealt with Chinese people all the time and had learned a lot of idioms. You're wrong. A budding flower's ages a 13 or 14-year-old girl. Yes, you're a flower bud. Hu Ao looked Lu Yin's attention. With a glass of wine in her hand, Lu Yin patiently chatted with him. Not far away, Qiao Fei was furious. Just as he was about to walk over, he was stopped by his father. Qiao Fei, let's go. I'll bring you to meet someone. Qiao Fei had no choice but to be dragged away. Unwilling to give up, he sent Lu Yin a message. Lu Yin's attention. Lu Yin's text a reading to read Lu Yin. She read the text to read it read. It's reading lose loses lose. Lu Yin, stay away from Hu Ao. Lu Yin chuckled, thinking, damn it. It's Hu Ao who should stay away from me. If he knew who he was flirting with, he would be so scared he wouldn't be in the mood to flirt with girls. What are you thinking about? Hu Ao moved closer to Lu Yin and asked flirtatiously. Chapter 3566. Oh, it's nothing. There are a lot of people here, and I feel dizzy. Do you want me to drive you back to the hotel to rest? Which hotel are you staying at? No, the banquet just started. How can I go back to rest? I'm staying at the Reston Hotel next door. If you're tired, I can drive you there. His words were so direct that even the girl who got a room with him made it sound like he was doing a good deed. He was shameless to the extreme. It's really not necessary, Mr. Hu. I'm not tired. If you don't have a companion, I'll go with you. Hu Ao offered to go with Lu Yin. Before Lu Yin could speak, one of her subordinates walked over. Boss. He was about to call her boss when he saw a stranger beside her. He immediately changed his words. Miss, you have a phone call. Okay. Lu Yin nodded and smiled apologetically at Hu Ao. I'm sorry, Mr. Hu. I have to answer the phone. Go ahead. With a smile, Lu Yin followed her subordinate to a corner. My goodness. Boss, isn't the person beside you Hu Ao? Yeah. Didn't he say last month that he'd give our mercenary group information within 3 months? Her subordinate clicked his tongue. Who doesn't know how to brag? Does he have the ability to do that? Lu Yin rolled her eyes. Were you negotiating with him? Bullshit. He was flirting with me. Can't you see it? Ahem. He was flirting with you. Does he know who you are? Her subordinate almost spat out blood. Of course not. If he knew, would he dare to do it? Lu Yin sneered. Lu Yan's subordinates glanced at Hu Ao, who was standing not far away, with sympathy. He looked at Lu Yin with shameless lust in his eyes, as if he really wanted to hit on her. But this girl wasn't easy to hit on. His life would be in danger. Lu Yin walked to a corner, and her subordinates made sure there was no one else around. Then they turned on the anti-eavesdropping system before Lu Yin answered the phone. Seeing a familiar number from China, Lu Yin was a bit alarmed. Brother-in-law, what's wrong? Did something happen to my sister? Lu Yin, are you still in Thailand? It was Qin Chu's voice. Yes. Yes. I want you to help me investigate someone. Who? Then, Qin Chu summarized what had happened to Lu Yin. Hearing this, Lu Yin sucked in a cold breath. It's too dangerous. Sister is in too much danger now. We can't let her go on business trips anymore. I did, but she didn't listen. I'll call her and scold her. Lu Yin was furious. Can you help me find out who that person is within Thailand? I have to confirm who is the one who wants to buy your sister this time. I'll check it now. Wait a moment. Lu Yin took the bag, took out her watch, opened the database, and entered Qin Chu's name and age. Finally, he locked onto his target. It's actually him? Fuck, what a small world. Lu Yin sneered. Who is it? It's Hu Ao, Lu Yin said. Hu Ao? That arms dealer? Why did he capture your sister? Qin Chu had heard a little about Hu Ao, but no matter how he thought about it, he didn't think Hu Ao had anything to do with Huamin. Is there need to ask? Hu Ao has a grudge against me. Previously, he also clamored to destroy my team. He has a good relationship with Xiao Nan. I think there might be something fishy going on here. Perhaps Hu Ao also knows about the things on my father, so he wants to capture sister. Of course, this is just my guess. Are you sure it's Hu Ao? Didn't you say those people wore masks? Hu Ao has an organization called White Tiger Hall, which is full of assassins. They like to wear masks when they go out to do business. I'm 100% sure it's them. Fuck, how dare they kidnap my sister? Lu Yin hadn't been so angry when she heard that Hu Ao wanted to kill her. But when she heard that he wanted to kill Huamin, she was furious. Don't act rashly. Hu Ao isn't an ordinary person. He's not easy to deal with. He has many people in Thailand. Afraid that Lu Yin would act rashly, Qin Chu tried to persuade her. Chapter 35-67. I'm fine, brother-in-law. Don't worry. The person who wants to kill me hasn't been born yet. Then, Lu Yin hung up the phone. If someone else had said this, they would have been bragging. But Lu Yan's words were the truth. After listening to Qin Chu talk about her sister being hunted down, Lu Yin felt depressed. When she returned, she walked around Hu Ao and didn't approach him. After all, with Lu Yan's short temper, she might not be able to resist stabbing him. But if she did it in this place, it wouldn't be easy to get away. Besides, Lu Yin hadn't finished what she wanted to do. Her sister's identity was completely exposed. Hua Xiqian was taken away from her, and no one knew where he was. Lu Yin suddenly felt very irritated. In the past, she and her father had been running around the world and didn't feel anything. But now, she had her sister. Her sister had a child and was pregnant with a second baby. If anything happened to her sister, it would be more than grief could express. So, Lu Yin now had a clear goal in life, which was to protect her sister and the people she loved. Lu Yan's appearance was undoubtedly the highlight of the scene. Although many of these mafia bosses had brought their mistresses and daughters with them, it was still not enough. But Lu Yan's beauty was unparalleled. Xiao Fei was pulled by his father to a Malaysian datuk. Brother Zhu, this is my youngest son, Xiao Fei. Xiao Fei's father introduced him. Wow, our youngest son is already so big. Xiao Fei knew this man was a noble in Malaysia and had monopolized many industries in Malaysia. His ancestors were also Chinese, so he looked like Chinese and could speak Chinese. Qian, come here and greet Uncle Qiao. Beside the man was a young girl with long, wavy hair that looked like seaweed. She looked sweet and lovely. Hello, Uncle Qiao. This is Qian. You've grown so big and beautiful. Xiao Fei's father greeted the Dadak. Fei, you met Xian when you were little. I took you to Malaysia for your Uncle Zhu's birthday. I don't remember. Xiao Fei's casual reply showed his lack of enthusiasm for the girl in front of him. It's okay if you don't remember. It's rare for you two to meet again. You two should catch up. That man seemed to want to set Xiao Fei up with his daughter. Brother Xiao Fei, your silver hair is so beautiful. The girl smiled sweetly. Xiao Fei didn't respond. He just glanced at the girl's face coldly. It was as if she had no interest in him at all. Little Fei isn't married yet, right? The Dadak asked directly. I have a fiancé. Ah, wasn't Xiao Nin not married yet? How could you? Xiao Fei's words stunned the man. Xiao Fei, don't joke with your Uncle Zhu. Xiao Fei's father tried to stop him. I'm not joking. Father, have you forgotten about my fiancé? Back then, you were the one who helped me decide. Fei, Father Xiao seemed to want his son to shut up. Uncle Zhu, my fiancé is Lu Yin. I'll marry no one but Lu Yin. You. Xiao Fei's father's fingers trembled in anger. The girl looked at Xiao Fei curiously. Brother Xiao Fei, you're a man. Why do you say you'll marry no one but Lu Yin? A long-lost smile appeared on Xiao Fei's cold face. He said, because my fiancée is much richer than me. I eat her food, wear her clothes, live in her house, and sleep with her. So, I'll marry her. Hearing Xiao Fei's words, Dadak and Father Xiao's faces turned livid. Brother Xiao, what's going on? Is the Lu Yin your son mentioned, that murderous demon? Dadak continued to ask with a dark face. Chapter 3568. Uncle Zhu, my fiancée, isn't a murderer. She's the queen of mercenaries. Thank you. Xiao Fei, what are you talking about? Xiao Fei's father was furious. Father, I'm just telling the truth. What truth? Didn't you break up with Lu Yin? Who told you that? What's done can't be undone. Maybe Yin is pregnant with my child. Your grandchild, Xiao Fei's father. Brother Xiao, what's going on? Hey. Furious, the Dadak turned around and left with his daughter. When they had talked on the phone, Xiao Fei's father had told the Dadak to bring his daughter here, saying that he wanted to marry Xiao Fei. In the future, they would work together to develop the arms industry in Southeast Asia. Unfortunately, the Dadak's son was already married, and the woman wasn't easy to deal with. After the Dadak left, Xiao Fei's father's face darkened. I think you're out of your mind. Why are you talking nonsense? Yes, not only is it in water, but it can also raise fish, Xiao Fei retorted. Xiao Fei's father. Fei, do you know who he is? The Dadak of Malaysia, Zhu Mingshan. He's the richest man in Malaysia. On the surface, he's a businessman, but in fact, he runs underground casinos, launder money, and sells arms. You know a lot. Do you know what it means if you marry his daughter? It doesn't matter to me. I won't marry anyone else. I only want Lu Yin. Do you know Lu Yin will get you killed? Do you know how many people want her head? Humph. If they want her head, they have to get through me first. You're crazy. You're crazy. Seeing his son bewitched by Lu Yin, Xiao Fei's father was furious. Father, if you want to get married, you can ask Xiao Nan. If not, you can ask my brother to marry more women. If not, you can take concubines. Bastard, Xiao Fei's father was furious. If it weren't for the occasion, he would have slapped Xiao Fei. She thought that her youngest son had changed for the better and cut off all ties with that woman. She didn't expect that. He was caught off guard. If you don't listen to me, you'll regret it sooner or later. Xiao Fei's father pointed at him, his face livid. If I had listened to you, I would have regretted it long ago. Without giving his father a chance to speak, Xiao Fei turned and left. Thinking that this party was too boring, he decided to find Lu Yin as soon as possible and go back to the hotel to flirt with her. When Xiao Fei went to look for her, Lu Yin was gone, and so were her subordinates. Damn girl, you didn't even tell me that you were leaving. Xiao Fei thought she had left. In fact, Lu Yin left the venue but didn't leave. She just pretended to be tired and rested in the lounge. At this time, Hu Ao was discussing business with a gang from North America. Perhaps the conversation didn't go well, so it didn't take long for him to come out. The moment he came out, he saw the exquisite woman sitting there. "Why are you here?" He couldn't help but walk over. "I'm a little dizzy, so I came here to get some fresh air." Lu Yin purposely slowed down her speech and said in a soft voice, "I already said that if you tire me out, I'll send you back to the hotel." "Okay, let's go then." This time, Lu Yin didn't refuse. Instead, she smiled brightly. Hu Ao didn't seem to notice the approaching danger. Chapter 35-69. When Xiao Fei ran out, he saw Lu Yin get into Hu Ao's car. Hu Ao was the most active person who wanted to kill Lu Yin recently. If Lu Yin got in his car, then no, it's too dangerous. Xiao Fei rushed up and tried to stop the car, but Lu Yin's subordinates stopped him. "Young Master Qiao, boss said you can't go. She's taking a risk." "It's okay. Boss has a good plan. She told you to go back to the hotel and wait for her. She'll meet you there in a minute." Hu Ao's subordinates are very powerful. They're not stupid. "I'm afraid she'll be trapped. Boss said she won't." "Why is she so impulsive? Why didn't she tell me about this plan?" "Young Master Qiao, calm down. Boss changed the plan at the last minute. I heard Hu Ao's men attacked Miss Hua in China." "What? They attacked Sister Mian?" Xiao Fei was surprised. "I think so. Anyway, after Boss received a call from Miss Hua's husband, she was very angry and changed the plan at the last minute. Then she won't be able to kill Hu Ao on her own." Xiao Fei knew everyone had to be scanned at the entrance, and no weapons could be brought in. Lu Yin didn't have a pistol or a dagger with her. She got into Hu Ao's car. Other than Hu Ao, everyone else was in Hu Ao's car. Besides Hu Ao, there was also a driver and bodyguards. Therefore, Lu Yin didn't have much of a chance. Besides, she might be in danger. "Young Master Qiao, don't worry about Boss. Even if she can't kill Hu Ao, she can get away." Xiao Fei was worried, but it was too late to chase after her. If he tried to stop the car, his identity might be exposed. So, he had to go back to the hotel with Lu Yin's subordinates and wait for the news. Inside the luxurious black Bentley, Hu Ao gave Lu Yin a bottle of water. "Drink some water. It'll make you feel better." "No, thank you." Lu Yin refused with a smile. Of course she would drink this damn thing. Everyone knew there were many tricks in the drinks and water in Southeast Asia. Many bastards, in order to deal with women, would use a kind of thing called mesmerizing water. How could Lu Yin make such a low-level mistake when she was drunk and at the mercy of others? It seemed that Hu Ao really treated her as an ordinary woman. "What? Are you afraid that I'll drug you? Do you want me to drink first?" Hu Ao pushed Lu Yin away. "Okay, you drink it. I'll see if you're dizzy after you drink it, and then I'll drink it," Lu Yin said jokingly. "Little girl, you're so naughty, but I like it." With a smile, Hu Ao reached out to touch Lu Yin's face. Lu Yin raised her hand to stop his lewd hand. She then picked up her handbag and said, "I need to touch up my makeup." The bodyguard in front held the pistol vigilantly, afraid that this woman would be a ghost again. He was afraid that Lu Yin would take out a weapon from her purse. After all, Hu Ao had a lot of enemies. They didn't feel relieved until Lu Yin took out a small mirror. "You guys seem very nervous." "What? Are you afraid that I'm a female killer who will kill Mr. Hu?" Lu Yin smiled as she touched up her makeup. "They're just too nervous. Maybe it's because I've encountered too many assassination attempts." "Don't be angry." Hu Ao comforted the woman beside him. His mind was already muddled by lust, and he wished he could pounce on this woman and eat her up in the next second. "Stop the car. I want to eat mango ice cream." Lu Yin suddenly saw a dessert shop and yelled, "Go back to the hotel." Obviously, Hu Ao didn't want her to get out of the car. "I want to eat it now." "What? Mr. Hu, are you afraid that I'll run away?" "Of course not." "Hee hee. How about this? I'll ask my men to go down and buy it for you." "Okay. Mr. Hu, I'd better go down with this lady to buy it. Otherwise, I don't know what she wants to eat." Hu Ao's bodyguard was smart and was afraid that this woman would attack his master if he got out of the car, so he planned to take Lu Yin down with him and keep an eye on her. But this was exactly what Lu Yin wanted. Lu Yin smiled even more smugly, and her eyes curved into crescents. Chapter 3570. Okay, go downstairs with her. Hu Ao did not suspect anything from the beginning to the end. Or rather, he was too confident in his bodyguard. He seemed to have the ability to control this young lady in front of him. If he had known she was Lu Yan's bodyguard, he wouldn't have dared to mess with her. When Lu Yan got out of the car, she quickly left a small object in the handle of the car. She was so fast that no one saw it, because Hu Ao's eyes were fixed on Lu Yan. Buy whatever you want. Let him pay for it, Hu Ao reminded her gently. Thank you, Mr. Hu. You're so nice to women. You're wrong. I'm only nice to you. Hu Ao gave Lu Yan a suggestive look. Lu Yan smiled sweetly and said goodbye to Hu Ao. Then Hu Ao's bodyguard followed her into the dessert shop. When it was about time, Lu Yan found a seat and sat down. Then she said to the bodyguard, I'm tired. You go and buy the desserts. I'll wait here. Okay, what do you want to eat? Mango ice and coconut milk sago. Let me think. And tiramisu. Okay, please wait a moment. I'll go and buy them. The bodyguard turned to line up at the counter. From a moment he paid at the counter to the moment he looked back at the woman. It had only been 10 seconds, but in these 10 seconds he had disappeared. Then his first reaction was to look at his boss's car. Sure enough, with a huge boom, the Bentley Hu Ao was exploded instantly. The deafening noise made the surrounding people turn pale with fright. The bodyguard was no longer in the mood to buy desserts and rushed out as fast as he could. At this moment, Lu Yan had changed into men's clothes and returned to the hotel from another road on her motorcycle. In the corridor of the hotel, Boss, I just got the news that Hu Ao didn't die. He was sent to the hospital, but seems to be severely injured. I didn't want him to die. That's why I used a sticky bomb. If I wanted him dead, I would have used my big baby. Then he would have been a pile of meat paste. Boss, why didn't you just kill him? It's not the right time to kill him. Hu Ao is nothing to be afraid of, but the power behind him is not to be underestimated. Moreover, Thailand is his territory. If he dies, especially during this Asian Mafia conference, I'm afraid it will cause panic. At that time, it will be difficult for us to escape. However, he should rest for a long time after this explosion, so he won't miss my sister, idiot. Lu Yan didn't want to deal with this guy so soon. But hearing that his men had gone to China to harass Min, Lu Yan lost her cool. His sister was already more than 6 months pregnant. Her belly was so big that it was inconvenient for her to move around. It was insane for them to target pregnant women. No matter what the purpose was, she could not tolerate it. After she was done, she sent Qin Chu a short text message. She only said one sentence. The tiger is seriously injured and won't be able to leave the mountain for a while. Don't worry. This sister-in-law of his was really something. Qin Chu only asked her to help investigate the person who sent the message to Fourth Master Fong. Lu Yan found the source and taught him a lesson. After teaching Hu Ao a lesson, Lu Yan felt much more relaxed. Taking off her shabby men's jacket, she walked into her room. As soon as she pushed the door open, someone hugged her from behind. With her years of experience, Lu Yan threw a backhand punch, but it was caught by someone. Obviously, the person was familiar with her moves. You even hit your own husband. Are you Tigress? Xiao Fei laughed as he held Lu Yan's fist. Chapter 3571. Don't you think it's too easy for you to enter my room? Can't I? Xiao Fei raised his eyebrows. What do you think? Damn you, you asked such a stupid question. Aren't you embarrassed? I haven't gotten even with you for flirting with Hu Ao today. Huh, you have to pay for flirting with me. Didn't you watch the news? I did. The Bentley exploded. Hu Ao is trying to save it, Xiao Fei said calmly. Are you still jealous? Of course. Even if he's dead, I'll still be jealous. You shouldn't have smiled at him. You're so jealous. Damn it. You flirted with the daughter of the Malaysian Datuk. I'll skin you alive, whoa. Not bad. You paid attention to me. Of course. Then you must have heard my conversation with my father. Xiao Fei let go of Lu Yan's hand and leaned close to her face. Lu Yan looked away awkwardly. What conversation? Don't pretend. I know you can eavesdrop on everything with your listening device. But I'm not bored enough to eavesdrop on you and your father. Since you didn't hear it, I'll repeat it for you. Xiao Fei chuckled. No, I don't want to listen. It's boring. No, you must listen. I told him that I'll marry no one but Lu Yan. Damn it, I won't marry you. You're too expensive. I can't afford you. Lu Yan chuckled. Of course not. Our Miss Lu is very rich. She's really rich. So you want my money? Lu Yan teased him. Yeah, not only do I want your money, but I also want you. Then Xiao Fei took out a razor blade and slashed it across her dress. Lu Yan's evening gown was instantly ripped open from the back. Fuck. What are you doing? Taking off your clothes. Xiao Fei was straightforward. Lu Yan, you're so shameless. I can be shameless as long as I want you. Psycho Xiao, don't push it. Don't say I'm not nice to you. I don't need you to be nice to me. How about a fight? The loser is on the top. What's on it? Lu Yan didn't have much interest in sex. That was why he couldn't react in time. At this moment, our young master Qiao emphasized, if you lose, you'll be on top. If you win, I'll be on top. Motherfucker, why does it sound like you're the one taking advantage? No, you're the one who's taking advantage of me, because I'm the one who's putting in the effort. Before she could finish, Xiao Fei pounced on her. Maybe it was because Lu Yan didn't have her guard up around Xiao Fei, so she wasn't as nimble as usual. Just like that, the two of them wrestled together from the floor to the bed, from the bed to the floor. Then, the subordinates outside the door heard the conversation in the room. Psycho Qiao, you're hurting me, Psycho Qiao. I'm exhausted. Can we do it later? Lu Yan's subordinates' jaws dropped. Has boss been taken down? I don't know. I guess so. Fuck, I really admire young Master Qiao. He's my idol. In fact, the scene in the room was like this. Xiao Fei had good stamina and had been fighting with Lu Yan for half an hour. In the end, she was exhausted and was pinned down on the bed by Xiao Fei. But nothing had happened between the two of them. Yan, it's time for you to give me some benefits. I want meat. Chapter 3572. Eat my ass. Get out. Like a little lion, Lu Yan jumped up from the bed. Just like that, the two of them started fighting. Xiao Fei didn't want to fight her. He was just teasing her. He hadn't had such intimate interaction with her for a long time. He had been holding it in for a long time. Boss, someone knocked on the door. You sure know how to pick a good time. Xiao Fei looked dissatisfied. Come in. Lu Yan immediately let go of him and sat up. She even straightened her collar, afraid that her subordinates would misunderstand. Her subordinates came in and didn't dare to look up at them, afraid that they would skin them alive. What's up? Lu Yan coughed awkwardly and asked. Boss, Qiaonan escaped. Escaped? How? Lu Yan didn't look surprised at all. He was rescued. Our men are all injured. Fortunately, they ran fast and said they were rescued by a group of men in black. Men in black? You didn't see their faces, right? Yeah, they were very strong, and we couldn't fight them off. Please punish us, boss. Qiaonan's rescue was a big deal, so her subordinates were scared and didn't dare to tell Lu Yan, afraid that she would explode. But Lu Yan was actually very calm. If she was afraid that Xiaonan would be kidnapped, she wouldn't have locked him in the basement. She would have locked him in her hotel. So this was a show that Lu Yan had set up. She couldn't kill Xiaonan because she wanted to catch the big fish. Now that the big fish was out, it was a good thing for Lu Yan. It's okay. I don't blame you. You can leave. Boss, are you angry? Don't be angry. Get out. Don't waste my time. Yes, yes. Sorry to disturb you. You can continue. Seeing that Lu Yan didn't say anything, her subordinates hurried out of the room. After the man left, Xiao Fei immediately hugged Lu Yan from behind. Let go of me, or I'll break your legs. Do you believe me? Your subordinates told us to continue, Xiao Fei said matter-of-factly. Lu Yan turned around in exasperation and amusement. She looked at Xiao Fei with a serious expression. Please, now that your despicable second brother has been rescued by someone, aren't you worried? What are you worried about? Wasn't that how you designed it? You purposely locked him in the basement and found so few people to guard him. Wasn't it just to let someone rescue him? Haha, looks like you know everything. Seeing that Xiao Fei understood her meaning, Lu Yan was in a good mood. I think I know you quite well. Actually, at first I thought Hu Ao was the one who colluded with Xiao Nan, but now it seems Xiao Fei didn't say anything and continued listening to Lu Yan. From the looks of it, Hu Ao isn't the only one who is related to him. There's someone else involved. Hu Ao can't even save herself now, so she definitely wouldn't ask anyone to save Xiao Nan. Moreover, Hu Ao doesn't seem to know that I'm in Thailand, so she definitely isn't on guard against me. So the person who saved Xiao Nan is the real big fish. You look so confident. You must have put a tracker on him, Xiao Fei guessed. Smart. I just want to see where Xiao Nan will end up. Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau, Vietnam, or the Golden Triangle? Lu Yan smiled mysteriously. Then when will you leave Thailand? Tomorrow. I'm going to Syria. It's a war-torn place. Why are you going there? To sell all the bombs in my stockpile. Only war-torn places need them. Lu Yan raised her chin smugly. Okay, be careful. You're not coming with me? Lu Yan thought Xiao Fei would follow her around like before, but from his tone, she knew he didn't mean that. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.